Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Spectacular. That is the Cultaholic Wrestling Weekly Podcast. You're listening to the dulcet tones of Maffew and his shirts. Jack King is also with us, wearing his lovely clothesline gear and a hat. And special guest this week, bringing nothing but the best. Delivering better than Deliveroo. It's Mr. Sam Driver here, filling in for Ross. How you doing,
hello.
Sam?
Oh, yeah, hold your applause, guys. Cheers. Yeah, thanks.
Should point out when we get to the wrestling portion of this week,
Be an hour and a half time.
Sam has freely admitted that he's not watched a lot of wrestling this week, so
Yeah,
it'll be all right.
Why would you say that?
Because just as a disclaimer,
Just as a heads up, so when I'm sat there going, yeah, guys, Roman is so good, and I'm just giving really general things like that.
He is still really good, to be fair. But I think just when it gets to this week in the wrestling, it might be me and Maffew, and then we'll chime in. We'll go, Sam, what do you think of this person in general terms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's almost like we're telling you what's happened. You're like the chorus role in a Greek theatre, in a Greek play. You're like the audience's insert.
Wow.
So that's pretty. Yeah.
Oh, this is fancy now. Done.
Fantastic. So we've got Puppet Jack and, the other Puppet Jack, I guess, because Sam's just going to agree with everything that Jack says this week. She hasn't seen anything. Fantastic. I hope you guys are excited. Jack, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you. It's been a really hot week in Newcastle. Really blazing temperatures, which has been lovely, to be fair. But it's meant that I've got to go out and about. I went to Durham to see some old school friends. Yeah.
Durham City?
Yeah, the city of Durham, yeah. And because they're just from there. But we didn't go to school in Durham, but that's where they're from. So I went over there, and it was a really nice day. Really hot, had a meal, lovely stuff. It's weird that these days it's really notable if you've gone to see someone. You're like, well, big news this week. I've actually done something. So that's been good. But what about yourself, Maffew?
Well, no one I wanted to hang out with and eat at a restaurant was available. So I was I'll go by myself. And I went to the place, what's it called? It's like Jamaican chicken up by top end of town.
The balls on you. The balls
I have no
on
idea.
you. I could not do that. Did you sit in on your own?
What, is this Jamaican food, chicken, or is it just eating by yourself?
Did you take it away, or did you...
No, I proudly, because restaurants have been shut for so long.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Absolute
like by yourself?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, no.
The brass balls on you. I could not... I'm so jealous.
Hang
I wish
on,
I could
get the
do
special music playing for you when you walk past all the families and group of friends. This is the funeral. Lonely man eating today. Everyone point and feel awkward.
No, but
and I ate it. But the point is, Jack, I'd eaten there previously with friends in Newcastle who are no longer around, either because they've moved or because I'm never going to talk to them again. And so I was eating there, and I just kind of this moment where I sat back, eating me chicken, and going, "This is nice." Got a lot of sauce on it. And I thought, God, remember when I was here with that person and then there? And they all appeared in blue spirits like the end of Return of the Jedi.
But
and that's where we're at now in Newcastle. A lot of people, COVID's like, COVID schmovid, ha ha ha. Newcastle's kind of getting there. It's just getting people to do stuff now, even though these things are available. So now it's eating by myself. Having a good time.
Is it more of an American thing, maybe? In diners and stuff, I suppose you can go in on your own. But and bars,
you never gone to eat by yourself at a place like that?
Not yes, but only like I remember a specific example was we were doing a wrestling show somewhere, and I was really hungover from the night before, and it was in Leeds because there was a Pop World and a Wetherspoons really near the venue in Leeds. So I just sneaked around the corner and just went to Wetherspoons on my own and sat there, and that was a bit different because in Wetherspoons I think it's not like sitting at a restaurant, is it? It's more just. But still,
it's like eating in a restaurant, but you go to hell afterwards.
Yeah.
There are other people alone in Wetherspoons doing various things.
Right. So I've never been brave enough to do what you've done, and I envy that.
Right.
Really envy that. Yeah. I couldn't have done it. I'd have been way too self-conscious, man.
We could have done it maybe in Japan because there were so many singular seating areas, but like that's probably the only place I would have done it. Like I don't have the balls to do that.
Not in England. No.
So wait, Sam, have you eaten anywhere recently?
Well, I'm trying to think, actually. My brain's like melting. It's become like such a thing where, over COVID, we've just ordered in. So I'm trying to think. I don't think... No. No, I haven't. Oh, in fact, well, we were at the Hancock. We got some like table food, just some like nibbles and bits,
Pub grub
and pieces, but like not actually gone and sat down for a proper meal. But hoping to rectify that soon.
Awesome, man. So, like I said, life finding a way. Well, that was life. As interesting as it is, let's go to the wonderful world of wrestling. What's in the news? Oh, another slow week. Good for Sam to fill in on this. Sorry, no, nothing's happening, mate. Nothing's happening.
It's all right.
Yeah, the big news this week, the completely unexpected release of certain WWE superstars. Let's go down the list. Top of the list, Braun Strowman. And I get all my news source from Twitter via Sean Ross Sapp, and then I make sure Cultaholics posted them, because if Cultaholics posted them, that's a verification. I'm not doing a good job here of saying something wrong. Cultaholics news is awesome, but a lot of fake news out there, as we all know, live in suspicious times. Sean Ross Sapp has a very high batting average right now. He's the shearer of releases. So Braun Strowman, anybody else had said or tweeted, "Oh, nah, Braun Strowman's gone." I'm like, "Oh, you're being silly. You're reading one of those silly websites and say, oh wait, Sean Ross Sapp said this. It's true then." Wow. What a weird career of being that guy in the Wyatt family that was, whatever, then got really, really good, then got over in 2017. Just the one segment where he beat up Roman, came back, beat him up again, and then beat him up in the ambulance, then pushed him. Amazing. Amazing. But sadly, coincided with the time when Brock Lesnar was not allowed to lose to anybody. So, yeah, couldn't strike while the iron was hot. And then he hung around and he won a tag title with a kid, still able to be over. Then he changed his look to look like just an angry American at Walmart, complaining that he can't carry his AK-47 to the ice cream aisle or whatever. And then during the NAF period we had, they put the title on him. During that horrible feud with The Fiend. I'm like, all right, great. But then he still stuck around. I was still like, no, I like watching wrestle, you know? And then he released him.
He beat Goldberg at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's just the general effort and work that went into pushing him is what's making this so unbelievable for me. Because, I mean, there's all this stuff kind of coming out now where it might be, linked to a contract situation. Like, oh, is he getting too much money? Should we maybe try and, downsize that? And it could be a case of a rehire attempt. But, like, even then, that's just, like, whoa. Just...
Well, I think... Alvarez or Meltzer was mentioning that maybe he was on a huge contract and they were trying to, even though they're making more money now than ever before in the company history, but whatever, they were trying to save money and they've got these new toys, I think, as Meltzer called them, so other huge guys like Omos and Commander Aziz. But, I mean, especially Omos, they're a lot less experienced than Braun Strowman. Like, Strowman's way more mobile and he knows what he's doing a lot more. He's just got the years of experience now. And I really do feel like at the minute, there is no one else in the world in wrestling like Braun Strowman. And how is there not a spot for that guy on their roster? It makes no sense.
Out of the company that built an entire legacy on big, sweaty, meaty boys.
Yeah. And also, I feel really bad for him because he put the effort in. He wasn't always good. He really improved.
Yeah.
Like, really improved. He used to be, like, standard clunky big guy. But then he really improved. And improved on the mic and... Yeah, it's just very sad. But I remember reading somewhere that he might not even be returning to wrestle anywhere. Which, I'm guessing he's got enough money now to retire anyway. But, just a bit sad.
It's so good in saying that, they reached Braun Strowman. Why is that? Budget cuts. And you're like, wait, hang on. What? Yeah. And then it's like, he was earning $1 million a year and they had to pay him even though there was a pandemic and all this stuff. I'm like, wait, Braun was making that and they released him. Everybody else is getting nothing then.
Yeah.
You just realise how little they must be paying people. It's like, but Braun's on $1 million. Whoa. Oh, a headliner. Whoa, can't be having that. Like, right, so that's why, almost Aziz, who cost considerably less. Right, I see.
But they're also considerably less good at the minute, though. Like, that's the point. And they're less big names. I don't know.
Okay. Gutted. Sad train. Aleister Black, who, again, was really over.
In the middle of being repackaged.
Yeah.
Had that magnificent run in NXT where he looked cool. Had the ab chair sit up. thing and all that they then did on Raw and added the sound effect to make it sound like an old dungeon film. Still looked cool, still sounded cool. Even when he was sat in a room, which was kind of silly, kind of daft, I think worked on some level when Buddy Murphy came and knocked on his door. And they had an amazing feud built on sexual tension of him lifting up his foot, his chin with his foot. And then finish him off.
I think we've read into that in different ways, but
I thought we all read. No, that's the only way to read it.
Okay.
Meltzer said exactly the same thing. It took him 10 minutes to say it, but I read between the alliteration. And for everyone who's not been watching WWE in the last 2 weeks, and who can blame you, he has just been repackaged. He has just come back 2 weeks ago after a series of him being Garth Marenghi. Attacked Big E during the Fatal 4-Way match. And it's like, dun, 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 Black is back. And yes, I had a very entertaining live stream. I've already seen bits of it, but the day of the release, he was on Twitch. Yeah, he's trying to get a pacifist run on Undertale. And he just started talking about all the stuff, what he thinks about the bad news places and stuff. But he also said, it's bittersweet because I owe everything to WWE. Not to diminish my prior work because it got me to the dance, but the last 2 years were a slow death for me. You said it, mate. What do you think, Jack?
Well, he was the one guy, and it slowly became apparent that I was wrong, but he was the guy in NXT when I was like, out of this crop of NXT, if I had to put like my house on one of them not being messed up by WWE, it would have been Aleister Black. And I was so excited for him going up to the main roster because, yes, he could really put on excellent matches in the ring like what NXT would enjoy, but he was also a character guy like the main roster. He seemed more suited to that as well. And then you've got this guy who beats people up in a way that nobody else beats people up on the roster at the minute with all his kicks and everything, and he's just awesome. And then they stick him in a room and have him do nothing. And I was just very disheartened. Then at least I thought, well, even though they're wasting time with these vignettes, at least apparently he's getting a push on the end of this. And yeah, it's just totally been nixed. So very disappointing. He'll be one who will surely thrive wherever he goes now.
Yeah. I think there's so many elements to his entire display as a wrestler that you can pick one and run with it, or you can just bank on all of it and have a megastar, which WWE never seemed ready to do with him. And
I don't know. I doubt his credibility on the indies has diminished either, because the name Tommy End, you just think, oh, big indie name.
That's it.
Tommy End's on the card. Oh, okay, yeah.
If anything, I think it's kind of improved the mystique, because you couldn't watch him in WWE and not think he was being stifled in some way.
Yeah.
I feel after he got to the main roster, it was, and with everything you were saying, with him just being sat in a room for ages and then disappearing altogether, how does it get to that point?
I did that borderline offensive impression of him. That might have been a factor.
Oh, what was it?
Should be ashamed.
It was in the build-up to Mania.
Do an offensive impression. Make like an AEW Spanish commentator in there.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I tried to put on a Dutch accent, Sam, but it came out, I think, Scandinavian instead. Where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it.
Did you just go for like the Ingrid Malmsteen with it? How can you say less is more? And then
no. No,
more is more.
Yours actually sounded way more like Aleister Black than mine did. Mine was like, I will see you at the WrestleMania, which just didn't sound. Which is definitely just.
Oh, it was even better than I could have hoped for. Thank you, Jack.
Which is definitely just that's
Tommy End.
That's just Scandinavian, isn't it? But bad Scandinavian accent.
That is.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Anyway, that's not a Dutch accent.
Oh God. Sorry about that. Obviously, you're very talented, and there's no Tommy and your talents, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Tom Campbell is furiously writing emails to people on being on Desert Island Grabs, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You probably hear him in the background. That's the noise. Lana.
Yeah.
Wow. After some of the worst booking I've ever seen of anybody throughout the years, all the stuff she's had to deal with. Most recently, getting put through 11 or so tables by Nia Jax, which became almost the Family Guy thing of it being whatever. And then, hey, it's funny again, so it carries on. And that then built up to her being the lone survivor at Survivor Series, looking like she'd never wrestled, crying and weeping every time she had to do anything. And her getting her revenge by pulling out of the match at TLC.
Yeah.
And then the feud just getting dropped.
Oh, I forgot about that bit. Yeah.
I mean, out of all of them, this is one I'm surprised. I mean, and it's horrible to say the word surprised, but I'm surprised this didn't happen earlier. But I guess, where my brain's going with it is, Miro moving across to AEW. Obviously, they were intrinsically linked for so long in WWE that I genuinely thought that might have been like an immediate double walkout situation, that she would go with him. But, she didn't, and this is how it all ends. It's just feels like a bit of a waste of time, doesn't it?
I was saying this with Ross
WWE.
I was saying this with Ross on our news video. We were talking about how when she was the ravishing Russian, when she was doing all that, and she was just your pretty basic heel manager for Rusev, that worked really, really well.
Yeah.
Then they try to turn her face because she's blonde, and Vince just loves doing that. And there was all these rumors that he couldn't see how they could be together. He's a beast and she's beautiful. It was just like, oh, come on. And then they tried to turn her face and she lost the accent and then she danced and I know she is a dancer, but the fact that dancing became her gimmick for a while was sad. So I hope that if she does, I'm not saying she will, but I'm hoping if she does reunite with Miro in some way, they go back to that, because she's better as just the ravishing Russian. It was just her. It worked so well. I don't know why they ever deviated from it. Yeah.
It was just simplistic perfection, I think.
Yeah.
With that combination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Murphy, the former NXT Tag Champion with no personality, that managed to become the WWE's best kept secret on 205 Live.
Yup.
Successfully win the title at Super Showdown for lots of fans. The sweet feud with Aleister Black, which you've already talked about. And then the thing with Seth Rollins, where Seth Rollins would treat him like rubbish, and then Buddy Murphy would turn on him, come to his senses and get back with Seth Rollins, then leave him, and then... yeah, that was great. And then buddied up with the Mysterios, and that got the thing where he was going to date the lass, and then...
And then after that, it kind of went back to a weird quasi-relationship with Rollins in the sense that I think he cost somebody a match, or he messed with Cesaro to try and get back into his good graces. Then it was never mentioned again. Then it brought up 2 weeks later, and then it was never mentioned again.
He came back for 1 week and went, forget all of that. That whole 3-month storyline. I want to be your friend again.
Yeah. I think he had it was 2 matches against Cesaro or something. One was like in revenge for the first time. It was just unbelievably confusing.
He turned into the Offspring's self-esteem. So what do you think, Sam?
As somebody who I'd never really got Murphy beyond the in-ring action until the 205 Live run, and the building up to everything, the heel aspect of it, Tony Nese working with him, and I don't know, like 205, everybody sleeps on 205 and have done since it started. And
I should point out, Sam was our 205 Live guy for a while, Maffew.
Yeah,
so he's quite passionate about 205 Live.
I covered it weekly, and it really started to get to me that people just wrote it off, and I was like, there's so many good stories. There's like the whole Mike Kanellis Drake Maverick situation with goading the GM into hitting him, and then all this stuff. And Buddy Murphy was in there just leading this charge, and then gets the move across, and then immediately they just drop him on the floor like he's just jelly falling through their fingers.
He'd always have that moment, at least, where he won the Cruiserweight belt in Australia. That was a good moment for him.
I mean, he's gonna be a star wherever he goes, I think, in terms of the in-ring quality he can bring. I mean, any company will be lucky to have that. So,
well, the joke match that everyone's immediately pitched is him versus Omega, because they're similar in the ring. They both, when people say they're similar in the ring, when people say they're similar, I don't know if they are that similar, or is it just that Murphy throws a lot of knees as well?
Murphy throws a lot of knees to the point
he doesn't do that.
No, but I think he's got a V trigger in his arsenal.
Yeah.
And I remember he does what else does he do? He does the cheeky Nando's kick, I think. There's like different things he does where I've been like, okay. But yeah, him versus Omega, I could actually see being pretty solid.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they got rid of him, because they got sick of Buddy Murphy gifts being taken down by New Japan.
Maybe, yeah.
Actually, that would be good. The Pinnacle are like, we've got Kenny Omega joining our stable. What? That's crazy. Can't believe Kenny Omega would leave the Elite to join the Pinnacle when it's Buddy Murphy.
It's the sweeper.
Kenny Omega. Oh, so let's do some fantasy booking and onto the news. Sorry, Ruby Riott. Wow,
another
this sucked.
Shocking one.
This sucked because she's awesome, but she didn't really have much of a chance to do much.
Real quick, I've got to just go check the door because I'm the only person.
Okay.
You guys keep going.
We'll carry on. Yeah.
Wait, which superstar will it be? So many.
I was sad about her because she's... oh,
can hear
God,
in the
that is a loud ring. Because she's really unique, isn't she? Visually and also personality-wise on the main roster. Like, there was no one like her, really. So, it was a shame when she was... I know hasn't she... I think I'm right in saying she's got quite a lot of indie experience.
Yeah.
As Heidi Lovelace. So hopefully she'll be able to go back to that. I'm assuming she will.
Yeah. It's a bad day to be alternative and have cool tattoos.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah,
we're releasing Sam, by the way, and it's... No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Obviously at the Linksill Centre for the Chikara show she was at. I remember thinking, like, she coming up and, tattooed and looking cool. It's like, wow. And she went, y'all know I get some cigarettes? I felt so bad because it was a Sunday. It's like, no. All the shops are shut. Yeah. Hello, Sam.
Anyway.
Hello.
We just talked about Ruby Riott and what a shame.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense to me here either. Well, none of this really does. So it's it's just sad. Especially, it seemed like Ruby was finally getting some sort of traction, or at least something going on in terms of more on-screen time. But I don't know.
I was quite shocked when they let Sarah Logan go, but kept the other two as the Riot Squad. So now, is it just going to be Liv Morgan presents the Riot Squad? She just comes out.
The one-woman Riot Squad.
Oh, no, they will call her that as well.
Of course they will.
Welcome into the ring. The what? Yeah, I can imagine it now.
Well, the ring, lonely Liv Morgan. And Santana Jarrett.
Garrett.
Who has been around... Is it Garrett?
I think it's Garrett.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Garrett.
GA.
GA, yes.
Okay.
G for Garrett. Was about to debut on SmackDown, according to the reports. Obviously didn't get that far. She's been around for years now, just in the background, simmering. And this is going to be her big push, apparently. And I think this just proves, like everybody else on the list, there are no big plans or long-term plans right now for people. There's kind of,
Hers was
we
really
change our
random.
mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hers was really random because it's apparently Vince identified these 5 names that he didn't have anything for, even though one of them was in the middle of a character rebrand. And then I can't fathom how he got from Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Lana, big names on the main roster, and then he goes, and that one NXT woman as well. How is that? I don't understand really.
I mean, especially when somebody's about to be called up and have been told, you're about to be called up. This is it. It's all about and you're released.
They've made quite a habit of that especially with the NXT women's division. It happened to Chelsea Green. It's happened a couple of times now, and it happened to was Vanessa Bourne set for a call up as well, I think. And it just makes no sense. Yeah, and they just do it with the women's division, especially. Yeah. It's very bizarre.
You know how we brought you up to replace the people we fired? Yeah, you're fired as well.
You're also fired. Yeah.
Oh,
ridiculous.
Okay. And
but she was,
why is this? Oh, it's like that scene of Simpsons where it's like, as you can see, we're strapped for cash right now.
Yeah.
Riches fall upon them.
At least she, from what I remember, was very impressive in one of the Mae Young Classics, I think. And I think she's obviously talented enough that all of these people are talented enough that they can do something elsewhere. So, hopefully she'll be fine.
And if that wasn't bad enough for poor WWE, Raw's last hour this week did 1.1 million viewers. As we used to call that back in the day, impact numbers. I'm not saying Raw's bad now, but Raw Observer have moved their Raw recap to Tuesdays because they can't be bothered by it. It's literally in the name of the show.
Yeah. Is that Stephen Larson?
It is, yes.
Love Stephen Larson. Great guys.
Yeah, good
I used to think he was one dude called Steve Larson. Steve Larson's great. Steve and Larson. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, no, Stephen Larson.
Steve and Larson. His middle name's And.
I was very glad we got to meet them in Vegas. Obviously, they were lovely.
Oh, yeah, great guys.
Lovely. If you see them now, they've got the 3 a.m. shadow and stuff. Raw.
Proper American presenters. You know what I mean? When Americans present something, it's legit. I feel like any American on the street could be a TV host. Whereas you know when there's been a crime in the local area, they interview someone on the news and they're like, "Well, you see what happened here, Jim?" And you're like, "Eh?" Because if you interviewed someone on the street here, they'd be like, "I didn't know me. Don't know what happened on the street."
I'm not telling you, note.
Yeah.
I'm no snitch.
Also, everyone's speculating this week about a relationship between WWE and New Japan, which was hot fire on Twitter. Tony Khan then responded.
Tony
with
Khan
his
was
cheesy...
livid. He was so
He was
cross.
so angry. It was
so
brilliant.
cross. They've taken my toy away.
Tony Khan with his cheesy, "Oh look, I'm like Mandrake from Dexter's Lab," a delivery style promo about
Mandark.
how it's funny.
Mandark, yeah.
Mandrake.
Mandog.
Mandark.
Is it?
Nemesis.
Oh,
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's Mandark.
I call him Mandrake, and he responds. It's good enough for me.
Isn't that a plant in Harry Potter?
That's it, Mandrake.
Devil's Snare. It's tons of fun.
It's a general mythical
Yeah.
plant, isn't it, in British
It's
history?
it's like the Medusa of plants.
Yeah.
It's also a really, really old school name. Like, hello, it's me, Colonel Mandrake. Mustard Industry, or whatever. Anyway, I digress. Mandark from Dexter's Lab promo about how it's funny. Oh, you work with New Japan, are you? Not the company that's been working for months, like, and had Eugene Nagata on a few weeks ago. All right, I have fun with that.
Can you imagine though if they got that relationship together and it all just stopped on one side and all of a sudden in WWE they all just rock up?
Yeah.
It'd be
Tony
like-
was
It would be good if the other card started doing promos as well.
Tony was rattled, man. Like, he was absolutely you could tell he was really, really annoyed. He was trying to be all smug and like, we're the friends with New Japan, but with his sleeves rolled up to like here. Oh god, that's a bit of a
Oh my god, Jack.
I wasn't expecting
Are you
that.
sure you've been doing any work? Have you been just walking around town all day? That's a lot of tan. I don't have that much tan.
It's been very, very warm all week, Sam. Come on now.
Just leaning
Also-
one arm out the window while you're typing with the other. Do a switch every hour.
I wish I'd never done that. For any audio listeners, I just blinded everybody with my very pale upper arms.
You look like a drumstick squashy. Good God.
Oh dear.
Tan so bad, you're going to have conspiracy theories coming out of you any moment now.
One thing I was going to say about the ratings thing, sorry to go back a story,
go
but
on.
the Raw ratings, is that I've recently done a script, I believe it was, I could be wrong, but I think it was written by our very own Justin Henry, on Saturday Night's Main Event and the story of Saturday Night's Main Event. So that'll be in the pipeline at some point in the future. Very good script. But he was mentioning things like, and on this day on NBC, Saturday Night's Main Event did a paltry 6.3 rating, which was terrible for the time. But now it's it's crazy.
You
to see the
would
difference.
kill for that sort of rating now.
Like the main event, Andre Hogan did just like the biggest rating ever.
Yeah, it did for that time slot. Apparently,
yeah.
it did like an 11 point something or something crazy. Yeah.
Oh no, we only did 6 this week. Oh, wow. The
Apparently,
good old days.
Apparently, like all of America really wanted it. Was it the one where Andre won the belt from Hogan, the rematch?
Yeah,
I feel like it was.
where Andre won the belt, he sold it to Ted DiBiase,
Yeah.
but Ted DiBiase's reign is not acknowledged.
Well, of course it's not.
Ted
I'm shocked.
DiBiase is now trying to get it acknowledged.
Saw that.
Yeah, I saw that
Is he?
yesterday. Yeah, he's
You
starting
can't
a
do
Twitter
that.
campaign.
No, I'm with him because Dolph Ziggler still has a SmackDown
Yep.
title reign that's recognized by WWE. That Vicky Guerrero just went, I'm the GM, here you go, Dolph.
And wasn't his 24/7 title reign acknowledged, and he bought that.
Yes, but
So-
I'm not.
Oh, yeah, definitely on the same
But-
levels of prestige.
Doesn't matter. Still bought a title and was recognised as champion.
I don't back it because I feel like President Jack Tunney nullified that reign. He was
yes.
A
Did you not find
Canadian.
a Jack Tunney?
A Canadian.
Jack Money on the Table Tunney. Hi, I remember him.
I love how OSW call him Funny Jack Tunney because he was. Oh my god, Maffew, have you seen the latest OSW review?
Not all of it, because I was too busy reflecting for the bit where they mentioned me.
Sam, there's a bit in OSW review, right? They've done AEW. Which show did they do? The one with the crab
Revolution.
explosion at the end. Revolution, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the first AEW one they've done, so they're like introducing the other hosts to like the roster and stuff.
good.
Like, what did you think of Evil Uno? Oh, the fella in the gimp mask. And then one of them says, I saw him and I thought, this lad's got to be a friend of Matthew's.
And he said he literally did tweet us. He tweeted us going, do you know this guy? I know you're friends with him. I said, yes and yes. He goes, oh, of course you are. Tries to set up. It was that 1-2 like Floyd Mayweather. Whatever.
And then a friend of Matthew's has become some sort of like euphemism.
A friend of my... Yeah,
I've
he used to
heard
be
he's
like
a
a friend
friend
of
of
Dorothy
Matthew.
back in the day. Now, you see that wrestler over there? I'm not saying he's a bit, but he's a friend of Matthew.
He's a friend of Matthew.
He's a friend of Matthew.
Oh dear.
Not anymore after that. But
Yeah.
anyway, so that was the long, productive news bit. Don't worry, it's all happiness from now on. Looks at Southampton Wrestling. Oh wait, no, it isn't. I lied. But stick around anyway, why don't you?
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Now let's have a look back on the Hall of Fame, everyone's favourite segment. In condescending order from last week, we don't have the percentages. Sorry about that, but
the Patreon just wasn't showing us the percentages this time.
It was too embarrassing.
They're all in zero. They're all 0%. But don't worry.
There was 5 votes.
No, there was almost 200 votes. It was quite heavy, but it's just
okay.
I know, but
sorry, I don't want to joke about that.
The bars were there, but the numbers weren't.
Yeah. All right, well, this much voted for the concept of the shacket.
Yeah, the
shirt jacket.
Ross's shacket. Yeah, Ross has got himself some new clothes recently, and he's looking sharp. I've got to say.
Yeah, and that's sharp enough for win this. Second place, Tom Phillips. Was that me?
That was you.
Wow,
he got
Tom
released.
Phillips.
Yeah.
Must have been on something good that day. And first place, Kevin Clark from School of Rock, who won with
Freddie Jones.
That much. Two hands, that one. Yes, R.I.P. Kevin Clark. Honourable pick there. That's absolutely fair enough. So, Jack, I believe that was yours. You look like you attended the School of Rock. Got a 2-1 there. So,
thank you. Cheers.
What is your pick for Hall of Fame this week?
This week, I'm going to nominate... When often in this job, people will ask, like, who are your favourite YouTubers, right? And they expect you to say other wrestling YouTubers, right? But because we do so much wrestling stuff, I suspect that generally our favourite YouTubers are not wrestling YouTubers. They're other things. And one of my favourites is who I'm going to nominate this week. No, it's not Summoning Salt, Matthew. But I know you like.
Put your video this week. Go on then. Sorry.
No, it's Dr. Benji FM, who is, like, I think probably like the centre of the Football Manager YouTube community. He's very funny, very dry English humour, plays Football Manager, gets across how unfair and frustrating the game is very well, and does what we all enjoy in Football Manager, which is create stories. Like, he'll play a save for so long that new players start getting regenerated, and he gives them little character traits and stuff. It's very, very good. It heavily inspired mine and Owen's Twitch series as well. And he is currently, the reason that I'm nominating him, he is currently approaching the 100,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. So best of luck to him. And he was on Desert Island Graps, an episode which Tom very kindly let me present. Don't just go, yeah, right, okay, fair. Because, no, he's a wrestling fan, Maffew, come on. And no, I'm not just giving him a plug. The episode went out.
I'm not saying anything.
The episode went out a while ago. The episode went out on Sam's birthday, it turns out. It was a little while ago now. But yeah, he's a very entertaining guy. Check him out. And also, he's a huge fan of Adam Pacitti, and Pacitti wants just like nothing to do with him. like I've mentioned him to Pacitti before on a stream or something. Like, he's like popped up in the chat, and I've gone, "Oh, there's Dr. Benji," and Pacitti's gone like, "I don't care who that is. I don't care. Football Manager." And I'm like, "All right, he's a big fan of yours, mate." And essentially, I thought it would be a nice consolation if I nominated him for the Hall of Fame. So Pacitti will never acknowledge him, but at least I've nominated him for the Hall of Fame instead. So there we go. If you like Football Manager, check out Dr. Benji FM, everybody.
Thank you, Jack. What a nice
That's all right,
pick there.
Yeah.
I'll go with mine because there's 2 bits, because I have to put this in apparently because I streamed something on my own Twitch on Sunday, so I know it's nothing to do with Cultaholics, so that's why I'm being nice about this. But it's worth mentioning because they keep on bothering me to mention it. We were talking one time about like jobs I've had and first jobs and whatever, and when you started and all this, because reading the Young Bucks book, and it came up with there's all these cool people on the Twitch thing that we all speak to, I think, who watch all our different streams, like guys like Vile and J Silv 114. But Long Live Lennon is a lad from Bishop Auckland, and he insisted I put this in because it turned out I worked with his dad.
Okay.
At Smurfit in Bishop Auckland, and it became this amazing moment. It was like, wait, where did your dad works there? When did your dad work there? I'm like, oh my god, I know your dad. It was this amazing pivotal moment, like, oh wow, this is so cool. Then the rest of the chat said, oh, what is it? Does he ever get over the fact that you don't call him back now, Matthew? I'm like, no, stop that. So I have to mention that. I think it's a bit weird to put like something that's on my own thing and that is really the Cultaholic thing in the Hall of Fame. So I'll just put it in passing for this Hall of Fame segment, and hopefully that'll be enough. The real Hall of Fame bit, there we go.
Hang on, you cannot sneer. You cannot sneer at my Hall of Fame choice and then do exactly the same thing.
I'm trying to keep people happy, Jack.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm spinning plates. So that brief mention will be all right for the... What am I going to put in?
You can put that if you
Braun
want.
Strowman as a train.
Benji's not winning. Benji's not winning this Hall of Fame. That's a shame.
Sometimes in wrestling, you see something the first time and you go, that's the stupid thing that this company's done this week. Look, they've even got the sound effect. That's ridiculous. And then 5 weeks later, you're like, oh, I hope he does the train bit. I hope he does the train. I love the train bit. Which I imagine is how the people's elbow started off.
But
Look, Scotty too hot. He's doing that thing that he in the dance floor. He does that, and then he goes woo woo woo. That'll never work. That's ridiculous. So
I like the spot on its own, but I didn't. You talking about the sound effect as well?
no, the whole thing.
Oh no,
That's
The
what
whole-
makes
the
it.
whole
That's
production.
the garnish.
not the sound effect as well, Maffew.
Braun. Is he hitting people? Yeah.
And Michael Cole used to
Staff
shout some-
announcement.
And then that real British train station audio.
and then Michael Cole used to say something quite contrived, which was like, "Get off the tracks when the meat train's coming. The pain train." There was get off the meat
train.
Get off the
Make
meat
sure
tracks
you-
when the pain train.
Make sure you stood behind the yellow line as the
Yeah, it
meat
was
train
like-
approaches upon the
He shouted
platform.
at
Oh, you
It
might
was
get
like-
sucked off.
Get off the. Is that a Peter Kay?
It is a Peter Kay
bit?
thing, yes.
Get off the meat tracks when the meat train pain is coming. Meat. It was something like that. No, Braun Strowman called himself like a meat castle or something, didn't he? Once?
It's a meat castle, but it's on wheels and tracks.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember what it was exactly. but
Metaphors everywhere.
Cole had a big slogan that he'd say when Strowman did the thing, and then I guess Adnan Virk would just replace it by going, "Whoa," which was great for a few weeks. Poor Adnan.
Yeah. Whoa, the meat castle on train tracks is hidden and you better get out there. By the time he's finished the metaphor, he's in the ring getting the pin. So Braun Strowman, human train.
Well,
Leave the memories alone.
I think ours are quite thematically linked, unfortunately. Because my Hall of Fame pick is really good at martial arts, has some in-ring experience, some pretty solid, he's just hard as F, and he's absolutely impossible to pin down. And his name is Alistair Jack. He's got a ridiculous accent.
Wait, no.
Oh.
Was it Taekwondo or BJJ? What was it you did?
What did I do when I was a kid?
Yeah.
I did jiu-jitsu when I was a kid.
And we know you did some stuff in and around a ring at the last place.
Huh?
Like when you were, involved with the promotion and that.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
you've been speared before. We're going for
you-
Alistair Jack here with the
Yeah,
accent and everything.
I've done wrestling before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy Start.
But yeah, no, it's.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't
So this is
resist putting that in.
This is a hybrid
So-
of me and Alistair Black then, is it? Or is it just me doing his voice?
It's you doing his voice while throwing some of his kicks, but you haven't actually dressed up in a gimmick or anything. You're just wearing
Okay.
whatever you're wearing that day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fight crimes when you
Yeah.
get released, but
Yeah.
that's all a phase to come yet. You're gonna get like your own van, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
I feel like whenever you're on, Sam, on the podcast, you and Maffew, there's just an immediate bond because you're in quite a lot of the same stuff. And often I become, it's like me at What Culture, like 2 years ago, like 5 years ago, like I'm like the. Like
Look,
the odd
I'm
man
not
of
gonna lie. I had no idea what to put in the Hall of Fame.
No,
Then I heard
yeah,
that accent,
yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
fine.
"That's it. That's
Gotta
it."
go in.
That's gotta
Okay,
go
well,
in.
I'll accept that, yeah. But it's just because Maffew there, for anyone just listening, is throwing shapes with Puppet Jack and just loving it. He's dying
Honestly,
laughing.
you should get Puppet Jack a whole Alistair Black get up.
The Puppet Jack guy from Vegas, I wish that we were in touch with him. So did he never provide any sort of contact info? I feel like
He
we.
tweeted at me, but then I forgot it.
I feel like we reference Puppet Jack enough, but we never reference the
Primal
creator.
after.
What with that? From that? Okay, fair enough.
I didn't say I was a sophisticated human being.
Okay. Well, if he's ever booked for North, maybe we can make that come true in the future. Just me and him.
Throwing a roundhouse kick.
Oh, didn't knock on me door, I'm recording.
Or like, because I'm not the most flexible, so we both try and sit cross-legged, but mine's not quite. Like, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you're kind of like an Orange Cassidy edition of Alistair Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Or like his Mizdow.
Yeah.
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 You go over, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3 picks for this week's Hall of Fame. Oh, it's anyone's race, to be honest with you.
Dr. Benji FM.
Dr. Benji FM.
Yes.
Very good YouTuber if you like Champman, Football Manager.
Yeah.
There you go. My pick was Braun Strowman, Human Train. And Sam has picked Alistair Jack.
Yes. Yes, he has.
And people are going to not listen to this podcast and go, have they really misspelled Alistair Black? Oh, well, I'm such a big fan of it. I'll click in because I love his kicks. And then Jack's going to be fuming next week.
I'm going to just send these right now to... I don't know who normally uploads these onto the Patreon. Who is that? Is it Adam? Is it Ross?
Good question.
I'll put it...
Me. Andrew seems to do a lot of work around there.
Does he?
Andrew's suspended at the minute, so...
Yeah, come on.
Oh,
yeah.
no, then no one's going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, next week's winner.
Pop it in the chat and we'll sort it out.
Okay.
Next week's winner might be Tom Phillips then. Yeah, those 3 picks are yours and yours alone to vote for by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic.
So what do you want it? Sorry, just to cut off the end of the. Do you want it to be Braun Strowman, comma, human train? Human train. Braun Strowman, human train.
You know, can you put colon?
The word colon.
Is a train.
Braun Strowman is a train. Braun Strowman, is a train. That's what you want. It's nonsensical, but I can do it.
Oh.
It's like a script rundown.
Braun Strowman in the script. What am I doing today? Oh, I'm a train. All right, gotcha.
Do you want it to be Braun Strowman is a train, or Braun Strowman, is a train?
You've taught me into it now. Yeah, put Braun Strowman is a train.
Where's the colon?
At the end.
Braun Strowman is a train, colon.
Colon. The colon makes it ambiguous. I'll delete this in.
I've had to now clarify to Pacini that the colon is deliberately at the end of that.
This week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. It's a long one this week. SmackDown. Roman questions the Usos backstage ahead of their match against the Street Profits. Jimmy says the end goal is to win gold, and Roman wishes him good luck. Jimmy leaves and Roman tells Jay he's going to need it.
Oh.
Jay pledges his allegiance to Roman and sadly leaves. In the ring, the Street Profits mock Jimmy and Jay. The Usos enter and reiterate how great they are, saying this isn't a dream match for the Profits, it's a nightmare. They also mention the Mario Brothers a lot, I don't know why. They have a very intense back and forth match, goes on for about 20 minutes, which the Usos eventually win. And this took up a big chunk of SmackDown. They made this feel like a big deal that the Usos were finally back, but Street Profits were able to show, no, this isn't just going to be a little match and you win and that's it. Yeah, this is going to be a proper fight. And I think they did a very good job of it.
Yeah, same, I agree. Now, I've got to ask Sam, I know you didn't watch much wrestling this week, but did you watch SmackDown as the SmackDown man?
I've caught a little bit of SmackDown this week.
Okay.
I still need to watch it before tonight's show. I'm going to sit back and watch it in full. But I'm just kind of excited to see where we're going to progress to after this next step. So Jimmy's back now. You know, what comes next? Because this is the point where we reach a bit of a bottleneck in terms of options. We're going to have to eventually add, I feel, somebody else to Roman's stable. I think it makes sense for them to end up with the gold and, to be just dominating the entire SmackDown side of things.
But Roman doesn't... This is the weird part, because I thought the same as you, but then this week Roman's made it really clear that he doesn't want them to win the gold. He keeps saying stuff... We'll see later on in a segment in a bit, but he keeps saying to Jay, like, we're the real team, me and you, not you and Jimmy. And it's like, is he going to be annoyed if they win the gold?
Maybe, because if they win the gold, what that means is that Roman's no longer the sole champion and the sole provider in the family. Roman's whole shtick is that he is the one with the big belt, even though he's kind of probably overthinking it, because I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I'm thinking the Universal Champion probably makes a bit more than the tag champs, but... it takes away a little bit of that power from Roman if Roman is really all about making as much money possible for his family.
Yeah.
Plus, he's been with Jay for longer. Jimmy hasn't quite fully, I don't feel, proven his loyalty to him in that way, But I think when it gets to that point, it'll all end up building and we'll have everybody on the same side.
Tell you what, that is a great character breakdown of Roman Reigns and the relationships in the. I really like that. You can tell that you're the SmackDown person there.
Yeah, man, I love SmackDown. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
We all love SmackDown.
Watching The Sopranos has really got us ready for this storyline. Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan challenge for the women's tag titles, but Natalya and Tamina retain. Yeah. Good.
Well, there's no. Sam, please give a breakdown on this one because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, okay, so
the SmackDown Women's Tag Division is a mystery to me.
The SmackDown Tag Division in general was an absolute cluster. You had Street Profits and Ray and Dominic getting more featured time than the actual tag champs not too long ago, and now it's just been a mess. But the one thing here, obviously Ruby Riott in this situation, it's just horrible. But when you kind of look at it from that standpoint, the SmackDown Women's Tag Division is building kind of slowly, but Natalya and Tamina, I feel, and I don't know why, it's just, I think it could work, provided they just double down on it. They've got to keep doubling down on the fact that these are the daughters of legends, because that's the route they went. It was, our dads are WWE Hall of Famers. We're from, these huge wrestling families, X, Y, Z. They need to just keep backing that up and maybe finally give us a reason to actually properly care about these titles, because it's a good sort of little run here for Natalya and Tamina if they can angle it properly and they can really frame it up right. But at the same time, you've got two people who've been around for quite some time that they've proven they haven't really done much with them. But in terms of the character goals and what they want, I feel like they're more on the same page than any other team in the division right now, maybe.
And it sounds weird to say, but just this past week, you've actually got rid of. It might seem like there's more teams than there actually is, because you've got rid of Ruby Riott, they're gone. You've also got rid of Lana and Naomi are gone. So what? Gone as a team. Naomi's still there, obviously, but they need to somehow get more teams, or just move the whole tag division to Raw. Because I don't.
Yeah,
really
or just don't have women's tag titles or tag titles in general if you're just gonna not really lean toward it. The whole thing is, you've got a multi-brand set of belts here. Realistically, you could have Natty and Tamina going to NXT, doing all sorts of different things.
They should, yeah.
And it's one good way to, could you imagine if somebody in NXT, like a new team in NXT, beats them? It immediately makes them. They've just beaten, a Hart and a Snooker. Like it's. I don't know. They need to work something out with it, because I do feel like it is a ticket to actually caring about these characters and their development, but it just hasn't quite hit fully yet. When they initially were doing it and Natty was kind of running her mouth a bit more, I was like, okay, this works. This is quite good when she's out on the outside of the ring, but since getting them, it's just been a bit,
Natalya better on the outside of the ring is what you're saying. Thanks for... I'm joking.
Bayley's on commentary for a non-title match between Bianca Belair and Carmella. Belair wins. Michael Cole calls her Balanka. So
did he?
Yeah, he yelled. It's awesome. So Bayley stands on the announce table and cackles at her. Meow, 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 meow.
Bayley's still good.
Yeah, Bayley's great.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins calls out Cesaro, but he's only kidding. Cesaro isn't here after the beatdown from Seth last week. Seth says he's obtained audio from Cesaro's hospital room, which he plays. I skipped this. It's a man moaning in pain, and oh boy, it's very funny, it says here. Rollins sings happy birthday to himself and leaves.
When I wrote that sentence, I was like, this sounds like a surreal... Then he sings happy birthday to himself and leaves.
Did he do it while the audio was playing of the man in pain? That would have been good.
No, he did it after. Oh. It was a man in pain and like a heart monitor, as if it was audio obtained from his hospital ward. But it just wasn't that funny. Or Taz, yeah, true. But it just wasn't... It was like a Raw angle in the middle of SmackDown. It was weird.
Yeah, I can't quite believe this is still sort of going on. It all started a bit of a while ago, and I thought we would have kind of been. Yeah, I thought we would have kind of been through it by now, but. I guess until Cesaro works out that he can swing somebody at the post, Rollins is probably going to be around him. But, it's all a good thing in the sense that Cesaro is getting featured time with a main player that, Vince is definitely behind. And, it's Seth Rollins. He's a big deal. And we want Cesaro to be bigger. It makes sense for this story to just kind of keep going.
I think Cesaro should have... He should when he's taking this time off to recover, he should boot up his N64 and play some Mario 64 and just do what Mario does to Bowser and swing him round and then into the Tron if he lets go at the right time. And then Rollins will hit it and go, wow! And then fly back. And he does it 2 more times and then he gets a star.
As he's making his entrance, he's just got these little kind of mats, these plastic mats with targets on them and different points.
Wait, what?
It's just like a driving range.
Oh, right.
Throwing Rollins.
I thought it was a Mario level you were describing there.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
No, Sam isn't a nerd.
Yeah, God. Yeah. I'm not some loser that plays Mario. No siree.
Mario 64, what a game. Wow.
Yeah. So long, dear Rollins.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
What does he actually say there?
So long. It's supposed to be so long, a dear
partner or something? Bowser?
You have to certain amount of compression you put these N64 games like, so
you know
like,
when
it sounds like something else. He goes, it's not.
You know when you start a level and he goes, let's a go? Mm-hmm. I used to think that was let's pickle, which makes no sense, but it sounds like he's saying let's a pickle. Yeah, let's a pickle. Yeah.
Mario's famous expression, it's pickle time.
Yeah, I'm Pickle Mario.
Kevin Owens faces Apollo Crews and hits him with a stunner. But Commander Aziz hits him with a Nigerian nail for the DQ. Pierce later gives Owens an IC title shot next week without Aziz at ringside. Also of note, Pat McAfee said, oh no, Owens got hit right in the cervix.
All right, Pat. Does he know? Does he mean coccyx? Did he mean like lower back maybe?
Oh, it's the throat, so I assume something ending with an X or the larynx.
Thorax? Throat. Is that a...
Again,
whatever
it was, it wasn't the cervix.
In your neck.
Is a thorax a thing? Or have I... That sounds
a
like
thorax is like something off an insect, right?
Sounds like a Mario villain. Thorax.
That's
or a Power Rangers villain.
Or like a rubbish robot in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've already got Cyrax. We may as well add
Cyrax, that's what I was thinking of. I used to like Cyrax. Was he the yellow one? He was a great lad. I liked him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with this. I'm assuming that Owens isn't going to win because Apollo's storyline's still going on, surely. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some shenanigans. We've seen that Apollo is capable of a lot without Commander Aziz, and it's not quite gotten to the point yet where Apollo has gotten lazy in his heelishness. He's still quite hungry. He's still a fighting champion.
Yeah.
Aziz is just there to help out. Now, if Aziz is gone, it doesn't matter because without Aziz, he still dropped, 9,000 pounds of stairs on Big E.
Are you saying that Aziz is redundant in this storyline?
I'm not saying Aziz is redundant in the storyline. All I'm saying is that he's yet to fully realize his role as Apollo's lackey, because that's what's going to happen, isn't it? He's going to eventually, Apollo's going to just keep putting Aziz in front of himself. But right now, it's still quite a fresh relationship, isn't it? So I can see Apollo still busting out something horrible, all of his own volition, like he did with the stairs in Big E.
Fair enough. Because Aziz isn't at ringside, so fair enough. Yeah, it makes sense.
Or Aziz runs in anyway while the ref's down and hits the Nigerian nail and we get a repeat the week after.
That would be more WWE.
6 and 2-3, isn't it?
I like that Apollo Crews' stuff to begin with, but now it's just, you are just generic as hell. Sorry. In the ring, you're great, but this character's just, I'm evil and not from here. I'm like, all right.
I'm evil.
Nah.
That was from Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere. That reference from me there. A show which is not aged terribly well. No,
I never thought it was much good to begin with. To be honest with you, it's a huge drop in quality from previous nights.
Not in terms of quality, in terms of the acceptable nature of the jokes. It's quite bad. It's actually quite bad.
It's been a while since I've seen it like that.
I watched it back. I was like, wow. Like, there's some water that's been bottled in the mountains of Afghanistan, and they say some inappropriate things because of that. It was the early 2000s.
It was. Let's move on. Backstage, Jimmy Uso asks Adam Pearce for a tag title show, which he grants them. Roman calls Jay to see him and asks why he's so content with curtain jerking as soon as Jimmy's back on the roster. Does he want to go back to days where people ask which one he is? It's more just like recapping Emmerdale at this point. This was a segment that happened. It was fun.
It's a nice callback, though. That's a really nice callback to Jimmy's passionate promo against Roman initially. And you can still see Jay is heavily conflicted, but it's always like he's never willingly there with Roman. He always looks like he's looking off to the side with a 1,000-yard stare.
Just realised though, it's a year since Roman did all this stuff, isn't it?
Oh,
because
is
he
it?
come to Hell in a Cell. That was the.
Oh no, but Hell in a Cell was later on in the year.
Oh no, because SummerSlam he returned.
They've moved Hell in a Cell earlier. I think did he return at the end of SummerSlam? Was it at the end of
SummerSlam? Because I was the one you won't see it coming, and then Roman returns like, oh.
When he wasn't fully a heel yet, but he was with Heyman, everyone was like, "Hang on, this is a bit weird." Yeah, okay.
And they kept on doing it. The initial Roman heel thing for a few weeks, where he showed up to team up with, "Yay, you're back, Goose!" And then he'd come back at the very, very end of the match, do one move and pin. It's awesome. Ah, good times. Nakamura beats Chad Gable. Baron Corbin interrupts the celebration from the ramp, but he's attacked by Rick Boogs. Yeah.
No, I like Rick Boogs. Come on.
I think he's got charisma for days. I think this is just a bit of a stopgap on whatever is next for him. But I think it's a good way to introduce him to the audience and get him over as Rick Boogs. He's a hard character to determine if you're not kind of well versed with how cheesy wrestling can sometimes be and how over the top it can sometimes be. He fits perfectly into that. So
yeah,
I think it does work as kind of this jumping on point main roster wise for him.
I just was sad by this segment that, not because Rick Boogs is featured, which is a great thing, but that Shinsuke Nakamura and Chad Gable are just having a nothing match to get someone else over on a weekly show. Like, they should be two of the biggest, they're two of the best wrestlers in the company, and it's just like, that's very sad.
Well, evidently the company feels a different way.
Oh, sorry, Sam, you go first.
Well, evidently the company feels a different way. It's all I said there.
Yeah.
For some strange reason.
The Dirty Dogs attack Ray backstage and in a tag title rematch. Dominic faces them on his own and wins after Ray shows up for a distraction. Usos show up for a stare down with the champs to end the show. I
didn't like this segment, Maffew.
Did you not?
I didn't like this segment. No, I thought this SmackDown was slightly below par. It wasn't like a terrible SmackDown or anything. It was just slightly down there for me. Because this main bit, right, I just thought it was a bit of a rehash of what happened at the pay-per-view, but with Ray and Dominic's roles swapped around. Where it's like, now Dominic's the one who has to do it on his own. Oh, here comes Ray. You know what I mean? It wasn't that inspiring to me.
It's almost like Dominic has to prove himself by being able to do what his dad can do.
Yeah.
I get it, and I get it from that kind of storytelling perspective. But at the same time, there's better ways to do this stuff, and it could have been handled a little bit better.
Oh, fine, I liked it.
Oh, fair enough.
Dom right now is like, oh, he's Ray's kid who Ray saves every week. So I was like, yeah. It's like Tails when he got his own game for the Game Gear. That's it. I don't need no Sonic. I'm going to find the Chaos Emerald by myself. Like, whoa, you're not getting Chaos Emerald. You can find like a bag of money or something. Come on, man. That was SmackDown. I liked it. AEW Friday Night Dynamite.
Friday Night Dynamite.
Right. Friday Night Dynamite.
Now we get to the stage of the podcast where me and Maffew describe to Sam what has happened on the shows.
Yeah,
well, this won't be brief because
I've not caught far too much of
that's all right.
Dynamite this week.
Oh, wait,
it was in fairness, Maffew, it was his birthday weekend. So
yeah, I was pretty blitzed. So
oh, sweet! I thought it was this weekend.
No, last weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I need to sort drinks yet, but it'll either be this weekend or next weekend.
Okay, for you, because I was like, it was all because like,
he's not done anything.
I've not done anything yet.
Maffew eats and Manjaro's again by himself while Sam and Jack get blitzed.
Oh, you went to Manjaro's.
Yeah.
That was the place.
You remember the name of it there. What happened was, when you consciously tried to remember the name of it before, you couldn't do it. But there, you subconsciously just said it. So,
yeah,
Manjaro's
the
is
same
nice.
sad feeling of missing out.
It used to be called Kilimanjaro's, and it was in Middlesbrough, and it was insanely
Manjaro's
mental.
is nice.
It was like a $5, and you'd get like a mountain of meat just
It's still pretty
barbecued,
well.
and it was like unreal.
It's still pretty well priced. It's still pretty good. It's good. Manjaro's good.
Yeah.
It's a bit heavy though. You've had a Manjaro. You know you've had a Manjaro.
I'm still feeling it.
Yeah. Creamy. Very creamy cream. What am I talking about? What?
That is going to come back to haunt you.
No, like the sauce is creamy. Like the sauce of the Manjaros is very... Ooh, it's creamy. It's almost like a curry sauce.
It's like you're possessed by the spirit of Pacitti. Using his Freemasonry powers.
Oh my God.
Jack, say something.
So, Sam, apparently it was you who planted this idea in Pachiti's head.
Yes.
To join the Masons.
All I said to him was, like, you've got a lot of stuff that needs doing in your house.
Join the Freemasons.
Just join the Masons, mate. If you scratch that guy's back, he might be a plumber, might do all your plumbing for you if you do a wrestling video. You know?
Yeah. Society's a give and take. Everyone needs a wrestling video. Everyone needs plumbing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you get,
everything's
crazy
pretty bad
handshakes
for
and
people
stuff.
now. Things are bad right now for people with the COVID and everything. You know, the one dependable business that needs your money. Yeah, try and get even less money.
Yeah, no, he'd swap it for a wrestling video, and it'd be fine. It'd be an agreed upon deal,
Wait, and he heard this and went, "All right, cool, I'll do it."
I like to think that he wasn't
Well
actually
done,
planning
Sam.
on. I don't know, Matthew. Did you know that the comments on that segment when me, you, and Pachi talked about joining the Freemasons was like all the comments on that video were like, "Love the Freemasonry bit, lads. That Freemasonry bit should be up for a comedy award or something."
Oh,
And it was me.
that's right. Yes,
And it was me very honestly talking about my dad being a Freemason. But I was laughing at it as well. I wasn't being too serious about it.
I thought you were going to go the other way. I thought you were going to be like, no, don't join the Freemasons. They're evil. And it went all conspiracy, and Da Vinci Code.
No, he just stopped going because they wanted quite a lot of money, and he just had my brother, and he was like, I've got 2 kids now. I can't really justify this. So yeah.
I love it. Worshipping the god Yabalon just to get a discount off your plumbing. So great.
Hey, there's a big cool chessboard and loads of orbs and stuff as well.
Whoa.
I've seen. I
whoa.
was
Wait, how
shown
do you know about
around.
this, Sam?
Huh?
Wait, you've been?
I've been shown around the temple before, yeah.
Have you?
Working on a film, and we
Film?
were shooting at the location, and one of the actual masons was like, "Do you want to have a quick look around? I'll show you the temple." And it was like, "Yeah!" And we got to see all sorts of really cool stuff.
Nice.
But it's nothing you can't see out there if you Google it. Like, we didn't see any like ceremonies or anything. We just saw like the room, and it was all explained to us, and it was like, "Whoa, this is crazy."
Were there loads of right angles everywhere? I feel like they love squares and triangles.
It was all squares, triangles, orbs, plinths. There were like stained glass with, I couldn't even make out who was on the stained glass. There was just, it was like just loads of different symbology everywhere. But it was really surreal, like to the point where I was like, this is like secret society stuff. And there's just this nice old guy going, well, if you ever want to join, just come down. And I'm like, these people aren't as evil as Hollywood's made them out to be.
Apparently the lodges are quite inconspicuous from the outside. So like, I had a Google, right? There's one in Biker, and there's one in like...
the one I went to was on the west end of town.
Yeah, but I've never known that there was... The one in Biker, right, is right near where we used to live. Yeah. And I would never, ever noticed it.
They just look like church halls. That's it.
What?
They're like tiny.
What?
Yeah, but you get in them and it's like...
Anyway, sorry, I've totally sidetracked. Sorry.
No, that's cool. It's to bring it back and make myself feel foolish when we went to America
0800,
first
call
time.
the Masons.
The Washington DC, and saw the giant, very tall buildings that they have over there in comparison to us, and our teeny tiny little buildings. My friends say, "Oh yeah, it's all from the masonry buildings that came over here," and I went, "Wow, the Freemasons did that."
Oh, it means the actual.
Turns out there's a big difference between the two. I'm like, oh, so for a while, I thought like Freemasons built half America. The secret Yabalon building powers.
The name does come from the original Freemasons were builders, though. It does stem from masonry. That's why the name's that, basically.
Yeah, that makes... Thank you.
Like the stone cutter, but yeah.
But to me, that's like, you can go to a solicitor's, but you can get arrested for soliciting. Very close together, but very different. Anyway, speaking of very close together, but very different, AEW Dynamite, the day before Double or Nothing. Darby Allin opens the show, beating Cesaro Bononi.
I put Cesaro Bononi in the nose. That's my fault.
Pause and hang on, do I say it? He and Sting call out Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, saying they don't want to wait until Double or Nothing. Sky and Page refuse, but it's all a distraction as Bononi's stablemates attack Darby. Sky and Page join the beatdown, but the Dark Order run out to chase them off. And then Sting does the thing where he wears a Sting mask to reveal Sting.
Wait, was that not later on?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Spoilers. Sting was Sting all along. Paul White is here to oversee the weigh-in for Cody versus Ogogo. He mocks Ogogo for arriving with an entourage. Cody then enters with everybody he's ever met in his life. Yeah. Yes, all his Facebook friends were there for this.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the reason I put that in is because Paul White's like, you think you're a tough guy, Go-Go, with your 3 friends? And then it's like, adrenaline! And just this procession of people just all come out. And I'm like...
Look,
all right, Cody.
All I'm going to say is, was Big Paul White ever a Subway spokesman? No.
Exactly. No.
Anthony Ogogo was.
Yeah.
So stick it up your arse, Paul.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, this was like some weird Jared joke.
During
the
I think it was
Olympics,
the
wasn't it?
London
Yeah.
Olympics. Yeah, he was all over Subway adverts.
Oh no!
Oh no, Sam's been taken
no.
out.
He's back.
I'm back. You all froze to me there, actually. So other way round, actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, me and Jack's connection went at the same time. You're right. We should probably blame you. Feel better. Yeah, there were a lot of people involved in this episode of Dynamite in very background roles. So I think if there are any people listening to this who want to big up their CV and they work in the wrestling business or they're an actor, I think you could get away with going to imdb.com and putting I was a background member on an episode of this Dynamite. I was either one of the Dark Order, one of Benoni's crew, one of Ogogo's lads, one of Rhodes' Facebook friends list that came out. And people would go, yeah, fair enough. There's more people in the ring than there were in the crowds today. So
if you got away with that, though, you could maybe try taking it a bit bigger. Like, I was actually Kane. Or I'm actually Rey Mysterio. Even though he's been unmasked, you could still try and get away with it.
That happened with Corbel Kirshner when he announced he died. And he went, I'm not dead. And then we had to come and apologise because there'd been a wrestler who had claimed until his dying day that he was the original Leatherface, and he wasn't. Somebody died. He went, oh yeah, I played Leatherface. So said the guy who played Leatherface is dead. He went, oh no, Corbel Kirshner. He went, what? No. He woke up and went, oh, I'm dead. So yeah. Paul White. Yeah, so Ogogo weighs in at 1 pound heavier than Cody. And Ogogo gets the mic and goes, pound sterling, but that's currency. No, he doesn't. QT says it's a crucial advantage. He shouts at the crowd for booing this weekend's winner. Ogogo and Co. are essentially bullied out the ring by Cody's group. Yeah. Cody thanks the crowd for coming and says he hopes they enjoy the show as awkward fireworks go off in the background because something else was happening at the same area. It had nothing to do with just Memorial Weekend, I guess. So
yeah, weird segment that.
It was. I don't know why QT has gone from the serious Cody dude who's feuding with him to a complete idiot.
How so?
He went, aha, he weighs a pound heavier. That means he's going to win. I'm like, what? He was serious like 2 weeks ago, mate.
You run a training school and that's your train of thought?
And he was a threat 2 weeks. He was pile driving Dustin Rhodes on steps. And now he's going...
Steps.
Yeah, right.
They're a band from Ogogo's place, so that means he's winning.
One of them's... I feel bad for one of Steps because he's called Ian H. Watkins.
I know.
I know.
Imagine having an H in your name. Shocking, isn't it? And also the other highlight of this was Big Show taking forever to use the scales and stuff, to the point where Jim Ross was mocking him for being slow and awkward. So, Big Show having issues with his weight. Must be OVW.
Oh, hang on.
I thought that would get a way better response.
As in the scales, his weight, or his weight?
Yeah, sure.
Right, got you. Yeah.
And it's another swing and a miss. The award-winning chemistry only here at Cultaholic.
No, it was good.
It sucked. I'm sorry.
No, it was good.
Hangman Page faces Joey Janela and wins despite being busted open by Joey. It's not like him. Taz cuts a promo from commentary, but Hangman cuts him off and says he knows what's going on here. And sure enough, Hangman Page, smartest man in AEW, realizes that Taz is distracting him like he's done every week.
He watches the show. Doesn't
fall for it, Goes, here comes Cage, Hook and Starks from behind. Hangman asks if Cage needs their help to beat him. Cage says no, and agrees it'll be one-on-one on Sunday. So Cage isn't liking this whole cheat malarkey. Sting gave him a little taste of what it's like to be independent, and I was like, you got a point there, pal.
Yeah, it was just a little warm-up, wasn't it, for the match with Cage?
Yeah, it's all one big warm-up. But the highlight of this match was Taz in the audio bit during the commercials that I'm still not sure if the commentators are entirely sure that we could hear them. But, well, at least one commentator is an AW. But Taz this week said, wow, look at Joey Janela wearing those green pants underneath his tights. Come on, lads, this isn't the indie scene. I think there's a lot of venom there from Taz for Joey Janela.
Okay.
I'm just saying that so we can write a headline about it. Tony Schiavone is here to hype the AEW title match, but he's interrupted and kicked out the ring by Pac. And Pac, war lad, talks about how he's going to win at Double or Nothing, but he's interrupted on the Tron by Don Callis. But it's all a distraction as he's attacked by Omega and the Good Brothers, using the Taz system there. But the Lucha Brothers help even the odds. We end up with Omega and Pac in the ring, but here comes OC. He reveals that he's torn up Omega's contract offer and lays out the champion with an orange punch. Pac attacks. I like typing that. But he's hit with an orange punch too, and Cassie poses with the belt.
No, never touch the bell.
Which means
never
he's,
touch
he's
the
of
bell.
course winning. He wins. We all know he wins.
Never touch the bell.
It's fine. He wins.
The only person I can think of who touched the belt and it worked was Jinder Mahal, who actually drove off in a car with the belt like that. And
it's because he took it so many meters. That's why.
I remember. Yeah. He's outside of the force field. But I remember. I remember thinking at the time, like, wow, they're really overhyping the fact that Jinder could win the belt, and then he won the belt, and I just couldn't believe it because he was driving off in the car. He broke every unwritten rule of wanting to. But Orange Cassidy touched the belt. Yeah, it was a shame.
And then he went to a steakhouse and left the title on the limo, and he came back and it was a great weekend. Powerhouse Hobbs attacks Christian backstage out of the casino battle royale. They brawl and are separated by crew members. Elsewhere, Matt Hardy claims he's going to win the battle royal and tries to sign Jade Cargill to a stable, but he's interrupted by Smart Mark Sterling.
Smart Mark Sterling.
If that name is in like an early 2000s indie gimmick,
yeah,
who says that if Matt doesn't stop trying to poach his client, he's going to have to serve him with a restraining order. Jade faces Kiln? Like a kiln? I'll say Kiln. Kiln King.
Kylan. I think it was Kylan King.
Yeah.
I think so. It
says Kiln. And wins.
Does it, Maffew? Right, let's just check my
I'm
note.
I'm joking. It says Killen. It says Killen. Don't call me out.
But no, it was... I like the idea that they're recognising Jade Cargill as, like, a big deal who they all want to sign. That was fine. But at the minute, Matt Hardy's stable are in a bit of limbo bimbo, aren't they?
They certainly are a bit limbo.
Sorry, that was it.
I like that.
It was from a Mighty Boosh episode. Do you remember Mr. Susan? Mr. Susan! And it's time for you to do the choosing. He's the guardian of the mirror world. It's a weird episode. Okay, so one of the Mighty... Noel Fielding goes through a mirror to the mirror realm, and he finds himself in a small room with, like, a few mirrors on each of the walls. And there's Mr. Susan in there, who they clearly just named because it rhymes with choosing, because he's like, I'm Mr. Susan, yeah. And then he says, you must choose wisely, for there are over 17 mirrors in the mirror world. And he does a little dance around and starts to sing a song. Which one will you choose, win or lose? And then Noel Fielding just walks through one. Mr. Susan is one of the best characters in TV. I love Mr. Susan. And in that, he says, don't go through the wrong mirror or you'll be trapped in, limbo bimbo. So that's where I've got that from. The Mighty Boosh was a different time.
Just to derail this further.
Sorry.
Just on the point. I'm going to completely take this off the hard left. You know, you were saying it sounded like an early 2000s gimmick. On stream last night, we were all chatting about random things that could happen in terms of wrestling. And then I don't know where it came from, but I thought, and I don't know if anybody's done it yet, and if they haven't, they need to do it. There needs to be a stable of wrestlers who are all just the elements of Microsoft Office, and they're managed by a guy in a giant clippy outfit. Under masks. Just, you'll have Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Publisher.
Oh, PowerPoint Hobbs. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And you could...
PowerPoint
they're all under
Hobbs.
masks.
Take a bow, Jack. They made up for that Mighty Boosh stuff you just did. PowerPoint Hobbs.
Clippy, though. And then when Clippy gets knocked out and injured one week, and they're all like, what are we going to do? McZ arrives, the original Microsoft mascot. He comes
I don't remember that.
He's like this blue guy that wears a Hawaiian shirt.
I only remember Clippy.
Well, the Clippy and Einstein.
There was also, the envelope, whatever that was. Yeah. But, we get in McZ, and then McZ's like, it's just going to be a whole thing. But somebody out there needs to do this. There needs to be a whole stable of Microsoft Office. And
Sam, they get together and go, I'm PowerPoint. I can't think of any other names to do right now, but like...
Spreadsheet, Excel.
Billy Gunn.
Excel.
Billy Gunn as Mr. Access. And they go, today, together we are bad, but together we will excel.
And then one of them just goes, words afterwards.
God. And it still wouldn't be the worst stable in AEW.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Right.
Miro defends the TNT title against Dante Martin. So shout out to the guy who went onto Wikipedia last week when we were reading up the card for Double or Nothing, and someone said Miro or Dante Martin will defend the title against lads.
They kept the possibility open that Dante Martin might actually win this.
It was a title shot. He retains without much trouble. Jake Roberts and Lance Archer interrupt. Jake pretends to speak Bulgarian. Says strange decision.
That was questionable.
Yeah. And says that on Sunday, Miro's fairy tale comes to an end. Archer charges down the ring and hits a big boot, and the pair are separated by referees. Yes, they are.
I hope his attempt was kind of just really lackluster, like, hey, Miro, it's me. I'm Bulgarian. I'm speaking in Bulgarian like that. Just a really bad accent.
It was
do chips.
Gargle. It was just garbled, like... It was just bad. It wasn't even a sporting try like my attempt at Alistair Black's accent. It was just garble.
What do you mean attempt? You nailed it.
I did nail it, yeah.
Tony welcomes the longest reigning champ in AEW to the ring, Hikaru Shida. He presents her with a new women's title belt. That's very nice. She's interrupted by Britt Baker, who says that once she beats Shida, she'll be the face of the DMD era. And the crowd are fully behind Britt, despite her being technically a bad one.
Yeah.
Nah, I think a lot of people going, nah, we like you, Britt.
Yeah.
I was about to say that this felt like one of those moments where it's like inevitable, like it's just her moment, really, everyone's behind her. I will say the belt I was a little bit unimpressed with. It was like a bit bigger than the why can't they just give the women a proper belt? Like
I don't so much have a problem with the design of it. It was always just the size for me.
Yeah.
They've added, like more stuff to it. I think they said they added some more gold and some diamonds to it.
That's fine, but it's the size. It's just the size. It's literally just the size of it. Now, I remember being a bit worried at this point because it gave me vibes of... Sam, do you remember... Well, obviously, the WrestleMania we went to, the Dallas one, right?
Yeah.
In the build-up to that, everyone knew that Sasha Banks was going to win the Women's Championship. Like, everyone just knew.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was her moment, and she was one of the faces of the marketing campaign, and it was loads of promos with her and stuff. And then Charlotte won.
Yeah.
So I got a reminisce. I got reminded of this a little bit, thinking... It seems so set up for Britt that I'm a bit worried that Shida's actually going to win. But we'll get to that. Yeah.
We certainly will. And then the show ends with a bit I've already said, with Eric Bischoff introducing the Inner Circle. The show highlight package of the Inner Circle's greatest hits. They'll cut a little promo saying if this is the end, then to go down a blaze of glory. MJF interrupts in the Tron. He's in the stadium and has kidnapped Dean Malenko. Okay, and then Inner Circle rush down to help, but are ambushed by the Pinnacle. FTR hit stereo pile drivers through tables on Santana and Ortiz, and the Pinnacle posed to end the show.
One of those pile drivers looked nasty. Like, it looked like he'd landed on his head. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah,
I loved it. Yeah, so that was definitely the build-up to the show. We will now cover AEW Double or Nothing. In the pre-show, Serena Deeb retained the NWA Women's title against Riho. They started off, all right, cool, basic, and then Deeb started just playing for her opponent. Putting it together like she was Meccano.
She's absolutely fantastic, man. She's fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant wrestler.
I like Deeb. Hangman Page beats Brian Cage after Cage refuses help from Team Taz. This wasn't necessarily a bad match, but when you're watching a pay-per-view that's 4 hours long, and the opening match is Brian Cage hitting top rope F5s that get kicked out of, I'm like, what happened to Brian Cage? Does he not know how to wrestle like an undercard match? Can he only be big man Brian... Well, was he big man? But big match, big man Brian Cage.
Are you saying he's like... what's it called when... Okay, I'm out of my depth a little bit here, but what's it called in Dungeons and Dragons where somebody just tries to... They kind of push aside role-playing in favour of making their character as strong and as cool as can be. Is it power gaming or min-max? Like something like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know the term. I didn't realize there was a term for it.
Is that what Brian Cage is? He's like the power gamer. Like, he's like, I just want to be the coolest and the fastest and the baddest and the strongest.
Yeah, that's it. So, Maffew, you're playing D&D, so make sure you it's role-playing. You're not being you. Okay, I'm going to be 7 foot. I'm going to be jacked. So I'm going to... Yeah.
Oh, mate. I once went to my mate's house after school, and we were playing FIFA, and he was like, yeah, he was a Man United fan. Disgusting. He was one of those Northeast lads who was a Man United fan. And he was like, yeah, I'll be Man United. And they had a striker called Harry, and his surname. And Harry's nickname at school was Mr. Cubiverse because he was tiny but like built. So he was the rugby captain. So he was like little but like wedge. He was like a little cube.
Yeah.
This striker was like 6'4", like really rapid, great at heading, and it was like exactly what it was, the Brian Cage of FIFA. Yeah. I really liked the match though, Maffew, because I think I can forgive them going slightly over the top with it because the crowd response was just insane.
That's true.
That was the big talking point at the start of the show, really, wasn't it? Like how hot the crowd was.
The crowds are back. There's actual crowd, and it's like at this point. Last year we were like, "Oh, can't believe it! Can you believe AEW and WWE having some people come back?" And we're like, "Oh, shocking this." Now after a year of this, I'm like, "Let them come in, let them get it, do what they want, go forward and go. Sure, fine, whatever. We're all going to hell in the handbasket anyway." So yeah, great to hear the crowd. Just, yes, wrestling.
Cage will be face soon, right?
I think he's just going to leave Team Taz. I'm not sure if he's going to be face. I guess he will be when he's feuding with Starks and that, but
yeah, it's just that he's really not happy as he's
It's nice though that we've actually got some resolution to when Sting said you don't need these dudes, and then he was like, maybe I don't know. I was still thinking about it, going, I didn't want your help. You did interfere.
I am the strongest, coolest, and toughest in all of the land. So,
yeah, well, I am so big that I can't. There's certain bits of my back that I literally can't reach now because muscles are so big.
Was it Eddie Kingston or someone who put a sticker on his back?
Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana, and he couldn't get it off.
He's there like, I can't reach this.
Yeah.
Oh, what a problem. Then the Young Bucks retained the AEW Tag Team titles against Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And I think this worked perfectly against the match we just saw because, there's lots of moves, kickouts. Jon Moxley selling here. Just amazing. The most Terry Funk-esque selling you're going to see. Just, I'm in pain. Just trying to swing with no energy. It was awesome. I love this match. I think it's maybe my highlight of the show just because of how good it was. The Young Bucks did the Young Bucks stuff. Perfectly complemented by Moxie, just making everything look like he's in pain. He's like getting the crowd perfectly playing the crowd. All right, now I want the crowd to cheer. All right, now louder. Oh, I'm getting that. Oh, even louder. Oh, so good. And Eddie Kingston doing his, God, I wish I was in All Japan in 1992 instead of this period of history style of wrestling with the backdrop and stuff like that. Love this match. Perfectly done. Loved it. Jack.
People were mentioning on Twitter that this probably would have been Eddie Kingston's, because it's easy to remember, it's easy to forget now, but he debuted in AEW during the pandemic, so this would have been his first ever reaction on this scale in his life ever. So that's awesome if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because he would never have had a match this big, surely, like in front of this big a crowd.
Even when he did that very brief Impact run, it was still doing the.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
No, but I don't. For life of me, I don't think he even did a pay-per-view.
He was also a bit more of a manager there, wasn't he? It was weird.
No, he had that little stable.
Yeah.
They had a name. It was him, Bram, and James Storm.
Right. Yeah, like the weird like mass. Yeah, but he got a huge response when he came out. Like they came out to Moxley's theme, and it was Wild Thing, and everything's gone. Everyone's gone mad for Moxley. But then when the music stops, the crowd all just start going, Eddie. And I was like, that's good. Like, he deserves that a lot. That's class.
Yeah, the DCC. The Death Crew Council. I wouldn't have remembered that name. That's way cheesier than I remember. No, they had some matches on Impact, but it just started in October 2016 and was done by March 2017. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, so you're probably right, mate. I hadn't thought about that because I always loved Eddie, but you're right. I loved him in Chikara for 15 people in some of those shows. So it's great seeing him in front of a giant crowd, all going, "Yeah, we like you." I'm like, yes.
I was familiar with Eddie Kingston weirdly early, considering I was only just getting back into wrestling as well, and it's linked to my inexplicable love of Lince Dorado. I remember seeing a YouTube video called like The Many Amusing Deaths of Lince Dorado, and it was just him getting destroyed by people in Chikara, and one of them was Eddie Kingston, I think.
Eddie Kingston had that feud when he just went after the cruiserweights, all the lucha dudes.
Yeah, and I remember looking at, and then it would link to like some of his promos in front of like the big blue Chikara backdrop thing, and he would be so different because everyone else in Chikara was like, "I'm a snake from Egypt, look at me," and then Eddie Kingston's there like so real and really raw, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's incredible." So horrible to
I haven't heard it. So. Oh, sorry.
Just so horrible to have Fiddy in there. I'm a snake.
No, but you said that, and everyone knew exactly who you meant. So
yeah, I like the Assyrian Portal. They were good lads.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know if anything's happened. Oh, you can never say that about wrestlers. No. Okay, that's cool. That's all right. Okay.
You already brought that guy from Steps. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's funny actually. Apparently, Eddie Kingston was on Wrestling Observer Radio with Meltzer, and Meltzer said, I haven't heard, I don't listen to that person, but he brought up like, "Oh, so you and Chris Hero had that great feud," and then Eddie's like, yeah, well, we're not talking. We're on good terms.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
I was like, yeah, people know that, right? They had this amazing, legendary feud, but they genuinely don't like each other.
Oh, that's sad, because they both seem all right. Oh.
And they don't talk about it.
That's really sad.
What's the reason why? They did all these shoot reviews of Smart Matt Video and other companies, and they still don't know. They haven't said what it's about.
I remember hearing. First of all, I'm sad because I thought Chris Hero was cool because, I've just immediately assumed that Eddie Kingston's right. I'm like, I thought Chris Hero was cool, but I remember walking past him once, and I was drunk and drunk.
You're drunk and drunk, yeah.
I was drunk at Wale Mania. Oh, God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking down the steps to the back, and he was walking up. He just entered the building. And as I walked past, because I was drunk, I was like, Chris Hero! It was like a total idiot. But all he did as we walked past was just like, yeah, man, and just gave me like a fist bump. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. He could have just gone, what are you doing? Like, leave me alone. But he didn't. He was nice.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely devastated.
Thank you, Jack. The glue that keeps this podcast together.
Thank you.
And sniff. Jungle Boy wins the casino battle royale.
No. It wasn't glue. It was what you'd expect. You've made a meme out of it from Vegas. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Out of what? Jungle Boy wins the casino battle. I don't know what you're talking about. Wins the casino battle royale. Last eliminating Christian Cage. I thought it was a fantastic ending bit. Because I'm there like, all right. I thought it was kind of all right. They're still insisting on doing this battle royale in group things. And the production was still trying to keep up with everyone coming out at once. The commentators still had to talk like auctioneers to get it done. But I guess they're set in their ways. All right. People got to do a little bit, some spots and look good and then leave. The Acclaimed, very over for the 2 minutes they were in the ring.
The Acclaimed. Yeah, it's all about the Acclaimed.
Then last eliminating Christian Cage, and I like the bit where it's Cage and Matt Hardy together, and Matt Hardy's like, ladders. He's doing all the reenactment with his hands and stuff they've done over the years.
He does the 5 second pose walk as well. He goes like that. Yeah.
You remember?
And Christian's just like, what?
Yeah. This is a perfect use of Christian Cage. Like, I don't want him like main eventing pay-per-views, but I want him to make someone else look good with Jungle Boy. So fantastic lad, fantastic old lad. Thank you for making Jungle Boy look good. Jungle Boy, big old pops. Yes, awesome.
Afterwards, Christian's like giving Jungle Boy major respect. He's like prodding his chest, going, "You better win. You better beat Kenny Omega." And on commentary, JR's going, "Oh, he seems very angry there at Jungle Boy for winning." It's like, no, Jamie's giving him an impassioned Jim
Jungle Boy Jack.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry Jack Boy.
Jack Perry Jack is famous dad Jack Perry. All right,
Boy Jack is in the Boy Jack Horseman.
Boy Jack. The other thing to note is Leo Rush is revealed as the Joker.
Yeah.
Yes. And he got to look good for a minute. All right, cool. I'm sure Leo Rush will do very well here. His in-ring styles, very moves, indie. So he's, a lot of roster. Happy for you.
Well,
but then the other news was later
there.
On, Mark Henry was announced as the signing for the other commentator for the other show that they're doing, Rampage, I believe.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because last time Mark Henry and Leo Rush were interacting, it was on Twitter, and it wasn't too pleasant. There were threats of lawsuit over dismissive comments Mark Henry and Leo Rush both gave each other, and it's ended very badly. But apparently then Leo Rush tweeted, no, me and Mark Henry sat down and spoke about it, and we're cool now. So I was like, oh, phew.
Well, the Leo Rush thing, I think I read somewhere that he only appeared due to the working relationship with New Japan, so I don't know if there'll have to be any sort of further...
I think he's still planning to wrestle in New Japan's American branch.
I think, so I reckon we'll see him pop up, but I don't know if it'll be like a regular thing.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, if that was like a one-off appearance, then he didn't really get a chance to do anything.
You never know. Because
it could turn into like a small thing until the world completely opens back up again, is kind of what I was thinking.
Like Ricky Starks was meant to be a one-off, wasn't he? But they were like, oh, actually, we'll sign. And
wow.
Thunder Rosa.
Look at all that meat.
As well, like she appeared way more than you'd expect for someone who's signed with another company. So
but they were signed to NWA.
Yeah,
it's easy to poach them. Anyway, Cody Rhodes, the evil foreigner, cruelly, shockingly, ugly defeats Andy Ogogo, the proud babyface of the entire planet. It says severing ties the UK forever.
Yeah, man, I used to like Cody.
The start of this, just for people who didn't watch it, or they're watching this years later and forget the context, they aired like a this weekend, just to remind you Americans watching this, is Memorial Weekend, where the troops are going to be died for you, USA flag. Also, we'll be giving dogs to army people later on. Isn't USA great? And then Cody shameless. Absolutely shameless.
It was like WrestleMania 31, where Rusev comes out in this tank, and you're like, he might beat Cena. He might actually do this. And then we get the America hype package, and then Cena comes out, and you're like, he's not winning this. He's not
Dogs, army, guns, for like, please cheer for Cody.
Rock flag and eagle, isn't it? Yeah.
Eagle.
Freedom heroes and free.
It's just the word God appears, and then it fades into a shot of Cody making his entrance.
Yeah.
Cheeseburgers, Cody.
I don't mind Cody. I know a lot of people went, Cody should have put Ogogo over here. I don't mind Cody beating Anthony Ogogo, right?
Nah.
But there was a major disconnect between the way they built it and then what actually happened. If they built it like Cody was probably going to get a rudimentary victory over him, then fine. But they really built it like Ogogo had a shot. And then, as you said, Maffew, on the go home, him and his stable just turned into like idiots. So it was just, I don't know what happened. Unless Ogogo just did too good a job of hyping up his chances, maybe. I don't know.
It's one of those things that there's always a bit of a disconnect for me whenever you have like another fighter of some discipline enter the wrestling world, because you've seen this person batter somebody else. Surely they could just go 1-2 down, done. And that's how I thought it might have gone.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I would have preferred it. In them later Street Fighter games, if you play as Balrog, he can't do any kicks. He's still a boxer. He's not like, I've learned to kick, so I'm balanced. No, I'm going to punch because I'm a boxer.
Or Steve from Tekken.
Steve from Tekken. It's
Steve
perfect.
Fox.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's deep. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to kick. I don't care if they do kicks. And if he grapples, just, hold or hit him or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if you're sticking with Balrog, the head. Completely legal. But yeah, so here I was expecting that type of match where like, okay, Ogogo needs one shot and that's it. And instead it became, okay, Ogogo's going to show that he can wrestle and jump off the top rope and do figure four. I'm like, great. You mean like everybody else in the card?
He was good though. Cool. He was good.
He looked all right, but again, I'm wondering what the point of this thing was, because now Cody's beaten Ogogo and QT, and they're the ones that pushes. He's just going to go through the entire.
He's just the best, guys. He's just the best.
He's going to beat Aaron Solo with a belly to Bailey, and he's going
to... It only gets an A- from me, because, it gets an A- because they didn't use the Team America theme as he got the pinfall. If they'd done that, perfection. But yeah.
I just...
Chatting along with the crowd. AEW, F yeah, my dog. Yeah. The casino game that we put on apps, we didn't get it. Do.
Oh dear. It was I was still impressed with Ogogo, given his level of experience, how good he was. He looked really comfortable. But I think Sam's right. The way his build up and his background made you expect something different. Whether it was him winning or not, it was you were expecting something a bit different. I think the perfect example of them doing it really well was actually Floyd Mayweather, because they put him against Big Show. Yeah. So Mayweather, even though he's like the best boxer ever, needed help and needed to cheat. And it worked so well because so rarely is the celebrity the heel. But in this case, they could have done something like that because he was the heel. But I don't know. Strange.
Yeah. So my line of this was, yes, Cody was the American dream here. And by dream, I mean the guy who admitted he cheated at Minecraft.
What? Oh, dream.
He admitted it. He admitted he cheated.
Did he?
I may somehow possibly could have accidentally cheated. Oh, such a great non-apology.
You know what? So Sam, I don't know if you know, but there's this YouTuber called Summoning Salt, right? Who's like an incredible, puts together these incredible like mini docs on speedruns and the progression, world record progression of how it's developed over time and how they've found ways to break the game even further. Or not break the game, but like, So he's really good. And through that, I got learning about the speedrunning community. And it seems like in the year or two that I've been paying attention, there's been an insane amount of drama in the speedrunning community. Like Maffew knows about it, and he's just he's been like my spirit guide. But there's this GTA 5 speedrunner called like Dark Viper, right? Who has always seemed to be on the right side of arguments, but a bit of an arse.
Right.
And well, that's how I always saw him anyway. And now he's on the wrong side of an argument and is being an arse, and it's brilliant because he's.
I haven't seen this. Is this new? Am I finding out speedrun drama on this podcast? What's Dark Viper done?
He's been trying to beat Grand Theft Auto 5 for ages without taking a single hit of damage. That's been his recent goal.
Yeah.
And have you heard about this?
I saw a Reddit post regarding something about this.
Some guy who was a fan of his, and apparently the speedrunning community is very open, everyone shares strategies and stuff. So this guy would try and share strategies with Dark Viper, but apparently Dark Viper's very impatient when people try and give him advice. And he's like, no, I've tried it already, or that wouldn't work. So this guy just did it himself and just did it before Dark Viper. And Dark Viper's been banning him from his Discord, banning any mention of him. And the guy on Reddit, because it got shared on Reddit and someone put, God, I hope Dark Viper's all right with this. And then the guy himself replied well, I've been kicked off his Twitch. And yeah. And then Dark Viper himself replied with the most copy pasta, this has been a tremendous strain on my mental health to have your work for nothing. And it's just it's so pathetic.
How dare you do something before me because I was horrible to you about it and you just wanted somebody to do it, so did it yourself because I wouldn't listen.
And I'm sorry that I've gone totally off topic here, but yeah, it's been crazy.
Sorry, Jack. This is what I always hope the podcast will turn into.
But on the point of this, we're having our mid AEW pay-per-view break. Just to on the point of speedrunning and stuff, I watch a channel called Virtual, and if you like Trackmania, Virtual is great. He
that's where the drama's
stories.
That's where the other drama's been cheating.
What?
There's been some cheating. No, Virtual.
Trackmania.
He's been the investigator of.
I was going to say
he's not done it. He's not done it. No, he's a good.
I was going to say I'd be so sad if he had.
No, he's great from what I can tell.
Yeah, he just seems like a really good guy.
I can't wait for the one tweet I'm going to get that said I really enjoyed the speedrun drama.
Yeah, I know.
But it is great
and
though
the
because
90 going never do that again.
Lads, enough.
I feel like someone who's not a wrestling fan and then wrestling's such a dense, complicated world. That's how I feel about speedrunning. I'm just what is going on?
That's it, Jack. Sometimes I'll take time out and look at drama in other places, and speedrun drama is its own thing. My God.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, we'll move on. As much as I don't want to. Miro retains the TNT title against Lance Archer. I thought this was a solid match. It wasn't spectacular by any means, but it wasn't bad. The highlight was Miro being like St. Patrick and throwing the snakes out.
Yeah.
He's like, that snake's dead then, is it? Okay.
We never saw the snake, to be fair.
Yeah. That when Earthquake squished.
Yeah.
But any thoughts there, Jack?
I just enjoyed it for what it was, although I do now see what you mean. Maybe this match would have been a little bit more enjoyable if we hadn't already had Cage versus Page, which was two tough lads battering each other. This was two tough lads battering each other. But I'm glad they kept it short, and I'm glad Miro won. So I didn't really have a problem with it. It was cool.
Yeah. Dr. Britt Baker beats Hikaru Shida to become the new AEW Women's Champion, and they teased everything in this match. They teased, it's not going to win. Oh, no. And at the beginning, I'm like, all right, you don't need this many false finishes. And it kept on going and going. I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm getting into it. Maybe they will. So they're trying to make it, I think they realize, hang on, this is a bit of a foregone conclusion at this point. Like, everyone's expecting it to win. So they kept on teasing it. Some people got very annoyed. I noticed on Twitter, on my mentions, stuff like that, when Rebel accidentally hit Britt Baker, saying, well, that should be a DQ. And also, coinciding that with what Ross said about the refereeing in the tag match of the Young Bucks, I thought AEW explained this really early on, going, no, there's relaxed rules. Because if there weren't relaxed rules, the majority of these tag moves couldn't happen.
Yeah, but JR,
I thought that's their way of hand waving. I'm not saying it's a perfect explanation but they explained this. There's relaxed rules. It's not WWE style.
I felt like it never got firmly addressed. I feel like it was not addressed, but I think they addressed it, but didn't fully resolve it.
They kind of hand
just
waved
moved
it.
on.
I thought that. So I'm so used to watching indie wrestling where stuff like this happens all the time that I'm like, whatever.
Right. JR hates it so much to the point where he'll forget that he's meant to make the show look good, and he'll just derail a tag match by going, "The referee is still not doing their job." I'm like, come on.
I mean, he's
JR.
right.
Well, he is, but come on.
But then I was JR, so shut up.
I feel like every Hikaru Shida match has had a million false finishes, though. It seems to be the way that her matches go. I don't know, but in this instance, it did work because it seemed so obvious that Britt was going to win that it did have some scary moments where you were like, oh, maybe not. It was cool. And then she got a hug from Tony afterwards. Shivani, not Khan. Shivani. The good one.
He came out and said, "That's right, I'm Mandrake." And he goes, "No, it's Mandark." He went, "Oh, whatever." Yeah, good match. Britt Baker, absolutely the time to do it. Hikaru Shida's been good and everything, but it has been like, all right, cool. We have something else now.
Who takes it from Britt down the line? Let's have a little prediction for the future now. I'm going to say Statlander.
Deeb.
Nice.
Yeah, either Deeb or Jade Cargill eventually.
Oh, Jade Cargill.
Oh, yeah.
That would be heel versus heel, but it's just like a shark getting eaten by a bigger shark, so it's fine.
Unless somehow Britt slowly turns face.
She might, because they love her. Yeah, she might. Yeah. A lot of options.
Yeah. Darby Allin and Sting defeat Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Look, I've said many times, I think every single time they've done this on the podcast, every time on AEW Dynamite, when a plural of wrestlers, I've seen Sting showing up, have gone, Sting! And they've ran away in mild terror at an old man walking slowly. I'm like, come on, that's just stupid. So I had no expectations for this, didn't care about this at all, whatever. Okay, cool, yay. But they absolutely booked this perfectly. Sting, old man near shins, came out, did the stuff he could do, didn't try and do anything sophisticated, didn't go for any double moonsault or anything like that. They booked him perfectly. Darby got beat up, and then Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky trying to tease and everything, and then Sting did. Oh, perfectly done. Perfectly done. So well done. Yeah, did that absolutely fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Well done.
They threw Darby Allin into the front row from the ring, which was scary.
Yeah,
they did, and he did that. Ethan Page did that when I was at the WrestleMania show in 2017.
Ah, nice.
Just that gif of me reacting by falling over.
Oh yes,
I wasn't near anything. It was just like, oh.
I was worried when that happened because it looked like his calf hit the guardrail as he went over. But Darby's made of rubber. Apparently, it's just bizarre. He doesn't. Yeah,
an odd little lad.
Yeah, he's an odd little lad.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. I don't want them to do this every pay-per-view, though. If Sting could go away now, that'd be fantastic. But it's fine. It was for what it was. Fine. Kenny Omega retains the AEW title against Pac and Orange Cassidy. I knew, and I'm sure you knew, and even Sam who didn't watch it knew, that Pac wasn't going to win. Yeah, but there were many times during this match where Pac looked so good. I'm like, oh, lads, Ogogo's failed us, but it's coming home. There were a few tense, tight bullet moments where I'm like, no, Pac, this is actually going to be it. He's going to win out of nowhere. He didn't, obviously. But I thought everyone looked great in this match. Yeah. Even Kenny, who's getting cheered by the fans, stupid idiot fans. You're supposed to boo him. You stupid idiot. Do you not even watch the show, you stupid idiot fans? You're supposed to cheer Pac.
No, you're supposed to cheer Orange Cassidy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to cheer Orange Cassidy.
Did you not? The best false finish for me was when Pac hit the Black Arrow, but then Orange threw him out the ring, and it was like he was going to go for the...
Yeah.
The crowd came alive during that moment. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. And I even like Kenny Omega being the big ham that he is, using all 4 titles that he owns. They hit Pac with it. I was like, okay, that's great. Because if he wins even more titles, is this going to extend that just sequence even more?
Yeah.
No, no one looked bad in the loss, so if it was a good idea to have a 3-way, then you could just have a rematch. Just a reminder that Pac has beaten Orange Cassidy and Kenny Omega. Just saying, could happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Then yeah, loved this.
Yeah, it was
way more than I should have, to be honest with you.
I liked it way more than I thought I would, because I thought it would be too Kenny Omega elite interference crap, which there was a little bit of, but it was actually really, really well built.
Yeah,
it reminded me a little bit. Yes, well built. Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of the WrestleMania main event, Edge, Bryan, and Roman, in that there were moments that they'd clearly specifically written in to take advantage of all 3 men's characters and motivations and stuff. I was like, that's really cool. It was really good.
Yeah, and also Pac, it's like a shout out there to our friends in the valleys. He's now Welsh.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. The only thing better than Pac being from Wales was how salty Jim Ross was when Excalibur, politely as possible.
Yeah, really nicely.
No,
on air. He was like...
No, look, near Hadrian's Wall, England.
And he said it so nicely as well. He was like...
He's quite proudly from...
Yeah. And then Jay was like, oh, whatever, nerd. Knowing where people are from.
Wales, Scotland, Jersey. It's all the same to me. All right, Jim Ross.
I don't get it. When I went to uni, though, a lot of Southerners, you encounter a lot of people from different areas of the country at uni, maybe for the first time. A lot of people thought that I was Welsh for some reason. I don't know if there's slight crossovers in vowel sounds, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Maybe. We got Welsh and Irish, I think, in Dallas when we were out there.
Australian, a lot of American.
Australian.
Irish, yeah. We've been asked before if we're Irish. And Australian. I think when people hear an English accent that's not your typical Southern pop culture British accent, they assume like they must be from a different English speaking, but not England country.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. But I've always had good crack with the Welsh when I used to be on phone. I had to speak to them, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from? Oh, from Wales. Oh, great. It's like, oh, we always like Newcastle. Oh, so nice. You know, it's like they have nice things to say. I know Welsh can go, oh, Newcastle's bad. So shout outs to people in Wales.
Shout out to the Welsh.
All of you.
First ever
Even the Romans.
WCPW Women's Champion at Nixon Newell is Welsh as well. So shout out to her. Yeah.
R.I.P. Attack Pro.
Yeah, that was always too cool for me. I felt like I was getting judged when I went there. They were like, he's from WCP. He's not allowed.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I was I wasn't cool. Yeah, we weren't.
Corporate spy, weren't you?
Yeah. Turns out our promotion were way more punk rock than any of the cool promotions. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. No, it doesn't matter.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we never
That's
sold
a fair
out.
point. You didn't shake hands with Vince.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on. ICW
Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Good night.
Where are the Sex Pistols?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah. Wow. You really were defined. The inner circle. The inner circle beat the Pinnacle in the Stadium Stampede main event. I mean, they don't have to disband. I thought they were, to be honest with you. Bit of a shock. This match was what it was. If this is the last ever cinematic, thematic, pre-filmed match ever, now that crowds are back, fine, whatever. Didn't really care about it. I like people mocking it afterwards, but didn't really feel anything. Again, now that we have crowds back, it's like, cool, bye. Goodbye forever. Pre-filmed matches. So it was what it was. All right, way to end the show.
Yeah.
Jack, any other thoughts?
Yeah.
My favourite bit of it was the end in the actual ring, with Sammy and Sammy and Spears, which was really cool. It was nice to see Sammy get closure for his whole story about how he left the group and then MJF had really screwed him over.
Mm-hmm. And him making up for the fact he had to quit when Jericho's got thrown off the War Games and stuff like that.
Yes, I didn't even think of that as well. Yeah. So that was cool, but on the whole, I'm now glad that we're getting to the end of the time when cinematic wrestling's kind of a necessity.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. Happy. So well done, Sammy, the little twink that could. And overall, though, this was a very enjoyable show. There wasn't anything that made me go, that was stupid or that was outrageous. I'm disgusted at this. All the matches were at least solid. Yeah. And the issue was, I'm trying to think of anywhere, Cardiff Pack.
Cardiff Pack.
I couldn't think of anything good there, so. If you ever had Welsh Rarebit.
God, we've still got Raw, I forgot. I thought I got confused.
Don't worry, because if we make it like, and it's gone on for a long bit, don't worry, if it's like Raw Observer, we'll just skip most of it. Monday Night Raw, Miz and Morrison open the show. Morrison is wearing garlic to ward off any of the supernatural beings.
We've gone from this fairly good pay-per-view to now Miz and Morrison. They're wearing garlic.
Their guest is Charlotte Flair, but she's interrupted by Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross. Nikki challenges Charlotte to a match and survives against her another 2-minute beat the clock challenge.
Why?
Well done, Nikki, for these wins that do absolutely nothing for her. Well done to... I was calling him Jojo Mojo then. That's
Mojo
that's the
Jojo.
Powerpuff Girls villain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jojo Mojo to his friends, wearing garlic and being a stupid idiot like a lot of these characters. Cool. Anything?
Yeah, because I've just got one. Just why are they doing this beat the clock thing? Because it doesn't help Nikki, because even though she's winning, she's not really. She's just surviving for 2 minutes against Rhea and Charlotte. And it doesn't help Rhea and Charlotte because they can't put away someone lower down than...
You think they've thought this through?
Well, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it.
So she can do a 3-way or whatever. And she go, it's time for Nikki to get tricky or whatever.
What?
New catchphrase coming to WWEshop.com. Randy Orton praises Riddle for winning with the RKO last week. He then faces Xavier Woods and uses Riddle's finisher to get the win. So they're friends. Yay.
I feel bad for Woods. Because last week he had an insane match with Riddle where everyone was like, hang on, we've just realised and remembered that Xavier Woods isn't just a mic guy, like he's actually really good in the ring. But this week Orton beat him quite straightforward fashion, I think.
Yeah, but it's all part of the exciting story that will definitely have an end. Like all the other people you mentioned that have been released that definitely had feuds and finishing points of their stories. Reginald beats former NXT Women's Champion and legit MMA banner. Well done. Good right up there, Jack. Shayna Baszler, after she's distracted by Pyro from one of the ring posts.
No.
Look, I like the idea that we've got Reggie. I like that he's a former Cirque du Soleil performer. I like that he can do some amazing things in the ring, but he shouldn't be beating Shayna Baszler, regardless of anything.
You know, whenever someone says, I don't like the idea of intergender wrestling because a woman could never beat up a man, Shayna Baszler could and should beat up
Shayna Baszler could rip off
actually...
every single one of Reggie's fingers and just shove them one by one up his nose.
I'm not blaming...
While he's trying to stop her with the his hands.
I'm not blaming Reginald because he's just doing what he's been booked to do, and he is quite good at what he does.
Yeah.
But man, the booking is appalling. Why is Shayna Baszler losing to Reggie?
I have no idea.
I know she got distracted, but come on.
But it's Shayna Baszler, and they don't seem to be taking her seriously or doing anything with her, and it's frustrating.
I know.
Oh. See, I'm all right with the idea of Shayna versus Reginald or whoever in gender match. I don't care about the Fiend or
what's Bliss,
Alexa Bliss or whatever the Fiend living inside whatever the hell's got. Don't care. Mason T-Bar say that they are predators.
Nice of them to confess.
Yeah, cheers, Bo. And the Lucha House Party are their prey.
Oh,
yeah, they're praying that Tony Khan's watching with his wallet open. They then beat them pretty easily, and they look all right. They're like when you get a team like, it was Kevin Nash's first tag team.
Kevin Nash's first tag team.
In WCW?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I've ruined the bit then.
When he was Oz?
No, prior to Oz. There's all the late 80s, two big stiff dudes. The Blade Runners. There we go, that'll be one. Okay. Two big stiff dudes just beating up two little dudes. This is what this was.
Lindsay got... I always note down when Lindsay gets a win, I'm always like, oh, Lindsay got a win. He obviously didn't this time, but...
He got destroyed though, so you can add a bit to that compilation you were talking about earlier.
Very true.
Yeah. Sheamus calls out Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo. He loses to Ricochet after distraction from Carrillo, and then loses to Carrillo after distraction from Ricochet. No one looked good here.
What are they doing on Raw, guys? What are they doing?
Why do they need to help each other to win?
Why did Sheamus
Mason T-Bar and Randy Orton and the people look good.
Is Sheamus still pulling the I don't like little guys, I'm a big guy, look at my hat?
Kind of. He's kind of doing I'm the US champion, but nobody is worthy of challenging for my belt.
Because they've all been fired.
Yeah, well,
they cut that out from the broadcast, sorry. I'm sorry, it's through the X. Now get rid of that bit.
So Sheamus has been doing this thing, Sam, recently, where he's been doing it like a closed challenge, where he'll do an open challenge, but for a non-title match. And the only two people who ever accept his challenges are Humberto Carrillo and Ricochet, because that's all of Raw's
Which means a third person's going to come along, win it, and then they'll just be forgotten about.
I don't think so, because this has been going on for a while now with just Humberto Carrillo and Ricochet.
Maybe it never ends.
It's
and Monceau
absolutely
for
bizarre.
1 week.
There was an episode of, it was like Nevermind the Buzzcocks or something, where Les Dennis was on it, and it emerged that Les Dennis can't really construct a traditional joke. So on the panel show, Noel Fielding goes like, well, most people's jokes go, diddle-a-duh, diddle-a-duh. But yours kind of go, boo, beep, boo, ba, 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 boo. That's what Raw's storytelling is at the minute. It's very abstract. Like, I don't really understand what's going on. It was a very funny...
The Les Dennis fandom for that mention.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose beat Lana and Naomi, possibly setting them up as the contenders for the women's tag titles. Well, who else is there?
I mean, there needs to be some contenders, because pretty soon there might not be any.
Wait, who won?
Is going.
Who won, sorry?
Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. So I'm like, they're probably going to win because Naomi and...
Lana.
Just
Naomi.
Oh, no, sorry, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose are already split up from there. Yeah. Trying to think of who else could actually...
I'm assuming that Dana and Mandy are going to win? I don't know, because they're blonde, and Vince likes blonde women.
No, honestly, who other tag teams are there in this division?
There are no other... Shayna and Nia, but they're kind of... because Nia is on Reginald's side, isn't she?
Nia and Reggie are going to win.
Nia and Reggie are going to win the women's tag belt.
It's time to put these titles in NXT where they belong and just move on from this experiment.
Which other women's tag teams are there? They got rid of them all. They got rid of the Iconics.
Yeah, there's no Iconics.
Sasha and Bailey are doing their own thing now.
Yeah. Long gone.
There are no other women's tag teams.
Riot Squad are dead.
There are no other women's tag teams.
Yeah.
Like literally, Nikki might get paired with someone.
Yeah.
This is bizarre. It's just that Vince doesn't believe that women can stay friends, and he just keeps breaking up the tag team.
They're inherently just untrustworthy of each other. Yes,
Yeah.
Thanks, Vince. Thanks. Shelton Benjamin.
Oh yeah, when I was saying there, I wasn't agreeing with what you were saying.
I thought you were.
I wasn't going. That's right. Women are inherently.
Yes, Vince. I've often thought this. Says Jack.
No.
Shelton Benjamin loses to Cedric Alexander in about 30 seconds.
Oh God.
Another awesome feud where everyone looks great.
Oh yeah.
AJ Styles and Omos beat Elias and Jackson Riker after Elias abandons his partner mid-match, possibly because of the thoughts that the interview that he gave last week was me and Elias always hanging out. We have the exact same beliefs. Whoa.
He really threw Elias under the bus.
No. Hey, you're on your own here, pal. Come on. Don't need that heat. Elias says he doesn't want to hang around with Riker anymore because he's become unhinged and unpredictable. Write your own joke.
Another tag team breaking up, by the way.
Yep, there we go. So that's what, Riker and Naomi then for what?
Riker and Naomi, what a team!
Yeah.
That would be class.
Alexa Bliss invites Reginald to her playground for an interview. Before too long, he's attacked by Shayna Baszler. Bliss says they need to have a chat next week, and Shayna calls Lily a stupid doll before leaving. Oh, that sounds great.
I can just hear Shayna going, "You're a stupid doll," and then just walking off.
Matthew, you've got to engage with the stuff you don't like. I know that you hate it.
Oh, sorry, am I?
And you're right. Well,
Do I
it's
have
just
to, I mean?
people might want to hear what happened, you know?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, because people aren't watching Raw, as approved with the ratings this week. So, yeah. So this is going to set up the Puppet versus Baszler next week, where Baszler will no doubt lose. Unless the distraction.
Unless Shayna brings in Ella brings in Rocco.
I'm
That's all
free.
I'm saying. Oh, Puppet Jack's a guest referee.
Jitsu. Yeah.
Oh,
Laughing.
dear me.
Dab. Monso. Oh, it's backstage making friends with the Viking Raiders. Wow, really? Mustafa Ali approaches and tells him not to trust anybody. Mansoor says if that's true, why trust Ali?
Whoa.
It's a good point. Lashley and MVP are partying backstage. Yeah, probably the highlight of the show just Lashley's backstage in a suit with the women.
The lovely ladies are back.
Yeah, and they're asked who they'd rather face at Hell in the Cell, but they don't really. They
Don't care. Don't care.
Oh no, I'm not watching this show, says MVP. What are you talking about? I've got the Disney app watching. I'm watching Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Shut up.
What?
Drew
What a film,
McIntyre.
though. What a film.
Yeah. And Drew McIntyre beats Kofi Kingston to become the number one contender. The pair shake hands afterwards, and Lashley comes out to stare McIntyre down from the stage. See, I thought
Poor
they were
Kofi,
going to do the
man.
triple threat at Hell in the Cell
Yeah,
because it was
why?
more exciting than doing.
Yeah.
I know it's predictable, but it was more
Kofi
exciting
can-
than just doing McIntyre and Lashley again.
Kofi can jump off high things. He can jump off the wall. You know,
Yeah,
he would have
it
had a
turns
whole
out,
new...
They're just doing the match again.
Yeah,
they give
poor
him-
Kofi.
Like, okay.
He got written into the feud for like a week, out of nowhere, and now he's been totally written out of it again. So what was the point in the first? It felt like this Raw was undoing a lot of the good work that last week's Raw did, because there was a lot of good matches on last week's Raw, and then they did like Shelton and Cedric again, but in 30 seconds. It was bad. It was a bad Raw.
Look, sometimes Raw can do some stuff that's good, or they could build up to the super shows that are fun and have some good matches. And there's been a good run recently with these super shows. But as a weekly show to watch episodically and go, okay, cool, I'm vested because that thing happened, it's terrible.
There's no content. Vince forgets a lot of stuff, I think. I think he just forgets a lot of stuff that he's already booked.
But rather than being negative, I'm trying to think of the best positive of the show. He's right, some people do that. So I'd say Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston was the main highlight. Also,
was a good
Kofi.
Bless you. Bless you again.
Kofi
It's
and
Xavier
Xavier
this season.
Dressed as Power Rangers.
Okay.
It's probably the highlight you get when you can
Is
with this.
that-
in this
I've got to
business.
think of something nice to say about this wrestling show. Two of them dressed as Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Some of the people are still employed.
What I'll say about Raw is that there's a lot of talented wrestlers on there. Whether or not they're utilised well is a different matter, but there's a lot of talent on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. And most of the best talent are hanging around with Lashley and MVP backstage. NXT. The show opens with a triple threat number one contenders match between Gargano, O'Reilly, and Dunn. Adam Cole interferes and takes them all out with a chair. And
Adam does a Maffew. Adam's like, I don't want to see this match.
Yes. Get him. Get him, you giant. He continues to beat them down until Regal arrives with security to kick him bloody out. You bloody get out me pub. And that's it.
Well,
they don't redo the match or anything.
Regal's great at being angry, first of all.
He is.
He's really believable. And I think it was weird seeing Cole just single-handedly batter 3 other similar-sized or bigger men. But he did have a chair, and he struck at the right time, I think.
Yeah.
It was more like opportunistic than, I'm the hard lad. It was more like timing, I think.
Ember Moon calls out Raquel Gonzalez. Regal tries to stop them, but they brawl in the ring until security drags Gonzalez away. Busy night for security. Dakota Kai attacks Ember from behind and leaves with Gonzalez. Ooh.
Well, this segment happened on the back of the first segment, so it did. The security were kind of still out there. It kind of worked. It was like a bleeding together of the previous. It felt organic and real. Real. So Ember Moon's the next. I think Ember Moon's the next challenger for Gonzalez's title.
Yeah.
Should be a good match. Yeah.
LA Knight cuts a braggadocious promo about taking on Jake Atlas. Atlas takes advantage of Knight's cockiness and wins.
He loses to him.
Well,
he loses.
And then Ted DiBiase is interviewed backstage and expresses his disappointment. But hang on, like he lost to him via distraction finish, and because he was yelling at Trevor Lee at ringside and all this stuff. And then Jake Atlas was like, "Yes, that's right. What a way to start Pride. Hashtag get stuff you warrior," and all the other stuff. I'm like, wait, that's what we're happy about?
Oh, did he?
Okay.
Did he tweet that? I
Yeah,
mean, fair
he
play.
didn't do the hashtag warrior thing. I
No.
know the creative license, but
I mean, fair play to him
this.
for tweeting that, but it wasn't the story, though. That's not what they were doing on NXT.
yeah, I know you're exactly.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah. I went, mate.
I have defeated.
You're not on the In Your House show, by the way.
I've defeated the personification of homophobia, LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Put LA Knight getting branded with that. Imagine LA Knight just like, what? I was saying that.
Hang on, I'm not a Riker type.
Oh, no.
Adam Cole comes back to the ring and says he's the real number one contender, whether NXT wants to admit it or not. Karrion Kross arrives and argues with Cole until Regal comes out again. Bless him. Must be packed by this stage. He denies Cole a title shot, but Kross interrupts and says he wants everyone at the next takeover. Gargano, O'Reilly, Dunn, and Cole. Regal agrees and Cole trashes the announce table. The best bit of this was Cole say, you know how they make you look good? They give you the music, they give you the women, they give you the cool effects. You know how they make me look good? They ring the bell.
Oh.
Oh, all right. And it's weird, though, because he's saying all this and the crowd is cheering him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they want, though, is it? Is this what should we be cheering Cole right now? Are we supposed to be...
I like Karrion Kross, but I prefer Adam Cole, and I think that's what's happened there. I saw this. Honestly, this show went down well in the Cultaholic office because Ben Potter tweeted about how NXT had rapidly improved once again since Adam Cole was back and dominating the show, and I was like, that's an interesting point of view. And I know that Andrew as well is a big fan of Adam Cole because of their cute little Twitch relationship they've got going on.
That's right. Yes, because Andrew's a bad guy now, so that's why he's saying stuff like that.
Oh,
that
yes,
makes
of
sense.
course.
He's such a good character, that lad.
But also, he once raided Adam Cole after a Twitch stream, and apparently Adam Cole, because he's very charming in real life, he's not actually a nasty person, was like, Cultaholic, and Andrew got all bashful. And then Adam Cole raided Andrew during one of his streams, and Andrew was just made up, bless him. So they've got
He's a nice lad, Cole.
Oh, he's one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met. I interviewed him backstage once at one of our shows, and the theme of the interview was like the whole thing about wrestling personas being you with the volume turned up, and I was like, that doesn't seem to be you. And he was like, no, I if that works for some people, fine, but I just turned into a different person. I was like, oh, fair enough, that's fair. And he was a lovely guy, yeah. Sorry to ruin his gimmick there. He's actually very kind.
Oh, what were people saying? The Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars, get that name right?
Yeah.
I'll follow American sports. It's all fake. They took a photo with both the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. Like, it was great to help with AEW, and I had people at me going, kayfabe, they killed kayfabe. I'm like, mate, you're on the Twitter app atting these people. Like, these people, on this podcast, we talk about the entire career, like, they've killed kayfabe.
Yeah. Silly.
Anyway, they get a hype package for Carmelo Hayes. He accepts Kushida's open challenge for the Cruiserweight title. He loses, but comes across strong.
Yeah, fair play. Good debut.
Yeah. Good times. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are interviewed backstage, but Indy is distracted because she's listening to an 80s power ballad mixtape.
Because she's heartbroken because it's gone bad between her and Dexter.
Oh.
So she's
Candice
listening
tells
to
her to focus, and they head to the ring. Dexter Loomis comes along and puts the headphones on.
Yeah,
It says here, Love is Still Alive, which is the name of one of the songs that she was listening to.
I don't know what the song was, but I think it was meant to sound like I Want to Know What Love Is or something like one of those sort of songs.
I hope it was just Smooth FM, the best of. So it was like, all by myself. Yeah. Candice and Indy beat Zoe Stark and Zeta in a short match, which is weird because you figured Zoe wouldn't be doing any jobs right now, like no Mascaras, but I guess whatever. NXT's so deep, you have to be very smart to appreciate it. And in the main event, MSK defend the tag titles against Mendoza and Wilde. The grizzled young vets tried to interfere, but are cut off by Ciampa and Thatcher. Later, Santos Escobar tries to help his teammates, but Bronson Reed runs in to take him out, and MSK retain.
Yeah, it was...
I love it here where Bronson at the end is appearing out of nowhere.
What, just the way that he appeared?
Yeah, it's like, hey, here I am. Splat.
Yeah, and he's big, so it's like,
Yeah.
it can hurt you as well as he's appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like Brian Cage. He's the coolest and the strongest and the fastest.
That's right. He sounds like that guy who said, I'm not finished with you and would be a... Oh, he's gone now. Sorry, yeah.
This was I thought this was an exciting main event. There was a lot of interference, but it was just a general chaotic feel, and I thought it worked all right. Everyone was really fast in the match, which helps. Everyone was really quick, so that was good as well.
MSK getting
tends
cheers
to always
again.
get that kind of final match of the night tone
Yeah.
just right, usually, as well.
Yeah, often, yeah. And MSK are bloody fast, like. They run very quickly. Yeah.
They certainly can. They're running very quickly to the next segment, which is now.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
Let's have a little look in the mailbag.
Rummaging are we?
Yes. Hey lads, the return of a proper crowd at Double or Nothing was fantastic. I had grown used to the Thunderdome, but when watching this week's Raw after AEW, it felt more artificial than ever. Which moments in the last year, also, do you wish there was a live crowd to see? For me, maybe Tucker turning on Otis. I genuinely believe the crowd reaction would be huge and force WWE to let them at least have a match. Still salty. Yeah, me too, pal. Cheers for all you do. Been a bit up and down lately, but your content makes me smile every day. I don't watch the Twitch streams live, but watch the VOD of every single one of them without fail.
Oh.
Thanks, guys. Jack Coyle. Oh,
Thank you
Jack.
very much. Thanks.
It took a turning on Otis would, yeah.
That would be great.
That's a good point, yeah.
That's pretty fine, actually.
Drew winning the title, of course, would have been unbelievable in front of an audience.
Ray and Dominic for a recent one, winning the tag belts together. And their promo afterwards was sad because it was a nice promo, but it was just in front of the Thunderdome screens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Probably Reigns returned.
Oh, yeah. Just that entire... The
oh, no,
Reigns saga
real
so
booze
far.
now. Boo, you're a bad guy.
I know there was a crowd of like wrestlers and extras there, but when Omega won the belt and then left the building in AEW, I think he would have got quite a lot of heat. And I just would have loved the cheer when Marvez stepped out from behind that production truck to stop. Wait a minute, where are you going? But generally, it's like the big good guy babyface wins, isn't it? That are the ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey lads, the return of... Let's try that question. Hi lads, thought I'd start by thanking you. Had such a good time talking with you guys. Got to scroll down. Hi lads, thought I'd start by thanking you for this weekly podcast. I have fallen out of regular viewership of wrestling, and your podcast gives me a succinct, a lovely rundown of the weekly events, along with some great entertainment interspersed between. That is actually better than most of the shows themselves. Kudos. Wow.
Oh.
Well, I hope you love Speedrun.
High praise, yeah.
Freemasonry, Les Dennis. Oh, it's all here.
Freemasonry and speedrun.
Speaking of entertainment, my question relates to the recent firings of people working for WWE studios. Surely now with record profits, they would be looking to save money even more. So instead of wasting money writing new movies, they could simply reshoot some old ones with their current wrestlers. Oh, okay. Which wrestlers do you think WWE Studios could recast in some classic movies? I was thinking along the lines of using AJ Styles and Omos to play Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in Twins. Or even using AEW talents the Young Bucks to play the dual role of Steve Martin in The Jerk. All the best to you all from Australia. Callum. Oh, Caleb, I guess.
Thank you, Callum.
Thank you, Caleb. Good day and all that.
Caleb? Callum, was it Caleb or Callum?
Well, if it's one L, I'm not sure if it's Callum or Caleb.
I reckon that's still Callum. But
please let us know, Callum with one L. And there's Matthews with one T in Australia as well, so...
Oh, bizarre.
It's bizarre, even more than the Young Bucks playing both roles of Steve Martin.
I'm trying to think here. This should surely be one.
We had some time to prepare for this one.
Yeah, me too. Oh, man. I'm trying to think. Can we have Ricochet in Flubber as the Flubber? That would be good.
Why? Does he lose a match at the very end? I haven't seen the film.
Just because he flips it out. Flubber, I thought... As a kid, I thought Flubber was a good film, and then I rewatched it. Robin Williams is fantastic, obviously, but the film's not that good.
It's a bit crap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
The basketball game's funny.
Yeah.
When they're dribbling like... That's good. But apart from that, I'm just like...
You know, I'd take... And it's wrestling themed, so it'd be even easier. They don't even need to try. They're already wrestlers. Just do No Holds Barred again, but with a modern cast.
Oh.
But keep Hogan the same age and make him still be the main character.
Oh, I've got one. Wolf of Wall Street and Ted DiBiase.
Or Trevor Lee.
Or Trevor Lee. Oh.
Can Trevor Lee be...
He could be I forgot his name now. Comedian with the teeth.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
With the teeth. Oh, he's got teeth in Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
So, Trevor Lee, I heard this thing between you and your cousin. What? Oh, that's normal around my parts. Sorry.
There's too much scope here. There's too much.
Yeah, I mean, you could. There's a huge range of directions you could go.
Sting and the Irishman.
Just the face paint the entire film.
I hear you paint faces.
We said last week, Sam, that we were talking about Pacitti and the cult that he's built for himself on Twitch. Right. Because it really is like, I don't know if you've ever tuned in for one of his Tuesday ones, but
they just love him. That's it.
Mate, the countdown for his stream beginning was like, I just logged on, or I just signed in, and I was like, oh, I'll see what Pachitti's doing. But it was before he'd started, and it was the countdown, and the chat's like 400 people all going, leader. I was like, this is bizarre. So last week I said that he should be Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. He's just gone off. He's gone AWOL.
Nice.
And he's just there, just in the corner. Just
and we cast you as Dennis Hopper, Sam.
Well, you said you would be Dennis Hopper with the camera.
Why are you here? Why are you trying to destroy what is created? Come on, man.
I don't know if Maffew will get this, but Matthew's probably the out of the two of you. I'm sorry,
okay.
Jack.
No, it's fine.
But we could remake Fitzcarraldo, but with Vince McMahon in the leading role.
Who's he trying to push, though?
He's pulling an entire... It's a wrestling cruise over an island. He's trying to push Natalia through this. It's a full-blown cruise with fans on the boat and everything, and he's just furiously trying to get that boat over the hill.
Vince McMahon,
Werner Herzog still pulls out a gun on him and everything. You know.
Yeah, I was going to say, all the tribal chiefs come up to goes, do you want us to kill Vince McMahon? No, we need him to finish the film. God, what a film.
But there was a moment.
I immediately, what was it? After he says, after the natives requested, we can kill him for you, no problem. Yeah. I said, no, don't do that. Immediately afterwards, I regretted my decision. I love you, Werner Herzog.
I know that, is that Werner Herzog?
Yeah.
Oh, I've only seen Grizzly. Kinski. I've seen Grizzly Man, and I recently watched the one. Yeah, it's called it's not called That's a Rage Against the Machine song, but it's called like People of the Sun or something like that. Yeah. It's the one where he goes to the Sahara and is filming a tribe who are all about beauty and vanity, and it's really bizarre. And the men are all like really tall. They're all like way over 6 foot, and they do beauty pageants. But the men are all being judged by the women. Oh, it was bizarre. It was crazy. It was really interesting.
We might actually have that Vince McMahon Werner Herzog thing then, if they're all 6 foot and beautiful.
All right. His narrative stuff, Jack. Like before he kind of got really into the doc side of things, he has some really, really good narrative films. So worth checking out.
I mean, Grizzly Man was just
I can listen to him talk for weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, he's just, it's the perfect voice.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that Callum specified classic films, but I couldn't do this question without casting Cody Rhodes as Guile in the Street Fighter movie, because he's very
Bison,
American.
surely.
No, Cody's Guile. He looks like Guile.
I'd still say, personality-wise, just as a character, Bison. All
There's
day.
a bit.
Yeah, is Guile a bad guy?
There's a bit. There's a bit in the Street. Sam, have you seen it? Because if you've not, then you need to.
I've seen it a long time ago, but I
Oh
have
my
seen it.
God.
Have you seen Werner Herzog Street Fighter?
There's a bit where he uppercuts a guy,
Yeah.
and it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. And in fact, I wouldn't recast him because Jean-Claude Van Damme's perfect, even though he's not American. And he flexes his arm, and as he punches him, and then his bicep pops up, and he's got the American flag tattooed on it. It's so good. It's so bad.
And to interrupt, Cody was taken to the cinema to see that by Dusty Rhodes, and he said that when that happened, he tweeted one time, when that happened, he did the punch in the American flag, Dusty went, yeah!
Is that true?
Cody tweeted
kidding.
it. Do you remember that tweet?
I didn't even know that Cody liked that film.
Oh, I've
I'd
never
seen
forgotten
it.
about that. Like,
Oh my
because Cody's
God.
like a cool nerd, I guess.
So
Yeah,
many
he looks
wasted
cool.
opportunities
No,
to talk to him
Oh,
about it, Jack.
mate, Matthew,
Dad, can I see Street Type of the...
Matthew, you might not have seen it, but in the venue we always used to run in Manchester, the Bowlers Exhibition Centre, right? There was a room up there that was like a replica of the Mos Eisley Cantina. So it was like little mannequins of all the aliens sat around, like there's Greedo and all that. And when Cody saw it, like his eyes just lit up. Like he started telling us the backstory of each alien in there and stuff. We were like, wow, he's big into Star Wars. He knows his stuff. Yeah, it was cool. He also had his jacket with him. Do you remember when he used to start wearing that jacket with the American flag on the back?
Yeah.
So he sat there like Han Solo, pointing his. It was very cool, and I hated him for it. I was like, this is cooler than I want to be.
Yeah. Because that's it, I'm mad. I'm like, damn it, you're a wrestler and you're a nerd. And then he cosplayed as, I forget which snake it was. Him and his family all dressed up.
As the Metal Gear
Ring
Solid.
of Honor Final Battle.
Oh,
His
that's
dog
cool.
was dressed up. It was awesome. I'm like, damn it, I wish that was me.
He's good. He's certainly good at dressing up. There was the Ring of Honor where he had that old school match, the strap match against Jay Lethal, and he came out with Lethal Sucks Eggs on his old school wrestling T-shirt. Yeah, good at dressing up. Let's have Cody in.
Yeah. Next week he'll have an even older school shirt and goes, I broke the UK's heart.
Can we have Cody in School of Rock, but instead of teaching the kids how to play the instruments, he just betters them in one-on-one guitar battles and stuff like that. And just nice try, kid.
I like him as... That's good though, but I do like him though, Jack. I think I got some with Bison. But why do they keep on booing me?
Wait, Kenny Omega's Bison. He's so over the top. And hammy.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm lactose
Keep
intolerant,
your
so
own
I can't
God.
watch Kenny Omega promos.
What?
I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't watch Kenny Omega promos.
Raul Julia in that film is outstanding.
Yeah.
He's just outstanding in general.
As I flew from... What's it? Wait, hang on. He's talking about
I
keep your...
beheld Satan
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
fell from heaven
Like lightning!
like lightning.
And then Guile hits him with like a spinning back kick, and it's so over the top, but it's fantastic. The biggest
These guys with strings just throwing them upside down.
the big
1, 2, wee.
Because at this point, sorry Sam, for a bit of context, Guile thinks he's won because he's kicked Bison into a computer and electrocuted him to death, but the computer has actually transferred its power to Bison, so he starts flying, and he's like, "I'm now imbued with the energy that levitates bullet trains from Tokyo to Osaka," and he's flying about. It's
It's
so
my platform and it levitates.
my saddle of the
Me.
world. Yeah.
So good.
Oh, the only bad thing about that film, the biggest letdown for me was that my favorite Street Fighter guy is Ken, and they relegate Ryu or Ryu. Do they call him Ryu or Ryu? In the film, they call him Ryu. Oh no, they don't. They relegate them to like street hustlers. Like it's just a bit con men. It's just a bit like
Weird.
Well,
they try and
Van
sell.
Damme's the big star, you know.
They sell guns to Sagat, but then he tests the guns by firing them, and they've got ping pong balls in, and he's like, "You've tried to screw me." It's really stupid. Anyway.
And you have a good line of that isn't Raul Julia. He goes, look at him, it's Vega, the greatest fighter since Iron Fist. And then Ken goes, oh yeah, whatever happened to him? He retired and became me. Anyway, moving on from Street Fighter the movie, which is about... Again, one day we'll do that mega podcast.
We need to
covering
watch
it.
along. Yeah,
Again.
we do.
We say this every week, we never do.
I know.
Greetings and salutations. 90s film reference. Fancy a guess.
90s. Wait, what was
Greetings
it?
and salutations.
Greetings and salutations.
Lots of people
I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, you Google it and we'll pretend to know it. We'll edit it in so we know what that was. I'm writing this just after the W releases from Wednesday. I don't want to trivialize the effects of such a release I've had on those involved, but I'm curious how such events affect you as hardcore wrestling fans and people who actually make a living out of this biz. Also, and somewhat linked to that, how do you keep invested in wrestling generally? Thanks so much for everything you're doing. Stay safe, stay awesome. Chip from Romania.
Thank you, Chip
Lovely.
from Romania. Thank you
Sam.
very much.
Demolition Man.
Oh, no, it even says PS, the 90s film was a Stallone-type starring barrel of 90s cheese, Demolition Man. Oh, now there's a film. Have you seen that, Jack?
Oh,
No.
you've never seen Demolition
get that
Man?
watched. Get that watched.
Mate,
it's
Wesley
a half a
Snipes.
satire. It's like a satire comedy. It's done very well. It's honestly, it's great. Jesse Ventura's in it.
Oh, so what was the question, Matthew? I was too busy
Okay.
Googling.
Talk about Demolition Man for another 15 minutes. Yeah, it's a good question, though. How does the events, like everyone getting released, this week, the previous week, affect you as a hardcore wrestling fan? And how do you keep investing in wrestling generally? Which I think are good questions.
It's a good
during
question.
This,
Yeah, definitely.
COVID time we've been going through. So why don't you start us off, Jack?
So I try and sometimes, because if you get too invested and you start feeling too bad for people when they, and rightly so, feeling bad for them when they get released and stuff, it is very easy to become a bit disillusioned with it. So you've got, and especially with things like speaking out and stuff, it became very easy to get disillusioned with wrestling. So you got to I try and sort of detach myself and think, I don't really know these people, a lot of them, and they're all talented enough that they can hopefully find success elsewhere. So I just try and think, as we'll see in the big question later on, like, it'll be exciting to think what might come next. So you got to try and look ahead and keep a positive attitude. But in staying interested in wrestling or invested, it's actually quite hard sometimes. For me, it goes in waves. Like sometimes I'll be well up for wrestling. I'll be like, oh, there's a big pay-per-view this weekend. That's awesome. But then sometimes, and it's probably going to come up because it's usually in the gap between Mania and the end of, it's like the dead part of the year. Oh, after SummerSlam, sorry. That's when it usually gets harder to stay invested. I just try and think like, even if something isn't a very good show, maybe there'll be noteworthy stuff happening on it. So the Saudi Arabia shows are a perfect example. Like they were morally dubious and not good shows, but something stupid always happened that we could talk and laugh about afterwards. So I don't know, just try and not get too obsessed with quality, because at the moment sometimes wrestling's not that good.
I think you're right. Like in terms of you just got to kind of keep a positive mental attitude about it. But it's and look at it, from the standpoint that these people are talented and they are going to go on and work elsewhere. If not, they will maybe return to the company one day or they'll retire happily. But it's kind of just always been a part of the industry, and it's one that sucks. But you kind of, especially in the work we do, you just got to kind of prepare for it, when it happens, and try and see, as Jack said, the positive side of it. And
overall as well, I should mention, when it comes to just staying interested in wrestling, a lot of the time we just sort of have, I'm sure that's the same for you two as well, where we have like moments of clarity where it's like, well, hang on, like we are figures who people listen to talking about wrestling. Like that's a very fortunate position. It's a very good position. It's a very fun position to be in. So you can never get too down about. You can never get too bored of it.
No,
like,
and I think you do end up you always end up going through waves where it's like, I can't face another episode of Raw. I can't face this. I don't really want to watch that. I've got better things to do if they're just going to do this to me again this week. But you've always got to kind of just move forward with it. As Jack said, we're very lucky to get to even talk about it. And on top of that, the way I sort of deal with it is that, even if I don't feel like watching Raw that week, I'll just kind of read up on it or I'll watch highlights. But I'll make sure to watch something that I have no idea about. So I'll go watch some CMLL, or I'll find a random indie, or I'll just find something that I don't know anybody, preferably in a different language, so I can't even understand the commentary and I can just enjoy the wrestling at that point. That's it.
I'd be interested to know what Matthew thinks, because you've been making content about wrestling longer than us.
Far longer than us,
So how do you stay? How does it not get old, basically? See.
Well, during this period, I try to be all happy and upbeat about stuff because of this podcast, and I think a lot of people notice because I got lured by the YouTube comments going, Matthew doesn't seem like he's enjoying a lot of wrestling. Like what I was on TV, and I'm not. I'm generally speaking Raw. because SmackDown's all right. SmackDown's not great consistently, but there's 3 or so, or 2 like good bits worth watching. AEW, I still prefer that, but then we come to Raw or something. Oh, Raw and NXT. And I just started realizing I'm being all right with it because, like you just said, Sam, I'm not always in the mood to watch this. So I'll skip lots of bits now. I'll go, what's happening? All right, skip the end. Cool, that happened. Okay, that looks like terrible. I remember there being a thing where you have to watch every single bit on Raw. That sounds like an insane thing. Wow, Raw was being really bad these past 6 weeks. Let me watch it again. Oh, it was really bad this week as well. Oh, no. Like, what am I doing to myself? This is ridiculous. Mental health should come first. I shouldn't be having to go like, no, you have to watch this Lana storyline, Maffew. You have to. Pacitti will punch you in the face next time he sees you if you don't do it. Like, no, that's not what happens. So, and NXT, again, it's just because it doesn't do anything for us. I don't see any reason for me to watch it and go, pretend to be excited and obviously do a horrible acting job on the show. I mean, it's not said anywhere that when you're doing this stuff, you have to watch every segment. Oh, no, then you want to watch a segment. Oh, Tusk, Maffew. You are thrown out of the chamber of wrestling people. Oh, no. Please bring in Grimm's Toy Store to take your place instead because he watches Raw or every second of it. I'm like,
I was going to say, shout out to Ross for doing WTF for so long because...
he's a person who should have
segment of... We
should ask this question next week when Ross is back and just ask him, how do you keep sane?
We should.
And also, just remember it's wrestling. I think I put too much emphasis when speaking out what's happening. It was really getting to me. I tell my mum's like, it's like, Maffew, why do you? No offense, Maffew, and obviously you like the wrestling stuff, but like, who are these wrestlers to you? Aren't they just like performers? There's people on TV, or maybe you go see them, and I'm like, you're not friends with any of them. You know, like, oh God, hey, hello, wrestler. You know, oh hello, Maffew, my lifelong. I named my child after you. No, nothing like that. There's dudes, and some of them are nicer, and some of them are cooler, like Adam Cole with the Twitch stuff, but they're just people. There's people who I don't know and go, that was a nice Canadian destroyer. That's it.
It was.
And so caring less. I think I did really get myself too involved in like, oh, the huge upsurge of the UK and Irish wrestling scene. Oh my God, it's amazing. We're all cool. We're all in it together. And it was like, no, we're not. No, whoa. Putting the handbrake on and jumping out the window. No, we're not in this. They're absolutely not. And I think that's actually helped in a way because it's like, Maffew, have you heard the news about this? I don't care.
I guess it's less not so much caring as much. It's more just behaving like a general, viewer when you would first get into wrestling before it was your job. You're not going to sit and, when I first got into wrestling, I wasn't sat looking at all the magazines and getting all the information. Then I reached kind of peak level with that stuff. And then now this is what I do. But I think it is important, every now and then to kind of just go back to your viewing pattern, maybe for a couple of weeks every now and then, just when you were a fan. And if that means skipping out, an hour here or there or being a bit late to get to the episode or whatever, then fine. As long as you read up and you know about it when you have to, then fine.
Yeah. Obviously, I know it's contradictory to what you guys do, but you don't always have to be like, you have to watch this first and get your thoughts out quick. It's like, you don't really, it's not like, oh no, if I don't get a gif of something of Raw, then that's it. The world ends. It's fine. Watching lots of wrestling and doing the editing, and getting put down by lots of channels, getting taken down and look like they're not going to come back. Yay. I'm still able to watch bits of wrestling and go, that was nice. I like that bit.
And
still, even me.
Yeah.
So just as long as you remember, it is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. If you're not getting any enjoyment, take a break or just skip bits. Only watch the highlights. I was going to say,
I'm very excited for the Euros coming up. It's always nice to have other things to watch and paying attention to other than wrestling as well. And especially because, international football tournaments are my favourite thing. I don't know why. I just absolutely love them. Absolutely love international football. I love all the narratives. But it's nice for that to be happening for a month or so where I can get invested in something that's not just wrestling for a while.
Mm-hmm. In regards to people getting let go and how it affects Raw, nothing's affecting Raw. Raw's already crap. People had looked like they were going to go places, again, Black on SmackDown, Santana Garrett, who was just about to get pushed and everything else like that. Yeah, that takes the wind out of the sails. But wrestling is cyclical, always builds up to something. It's never a great episode and everything's restored. There's always angles. So it's an expression that people mock, but you do have to wait and see where these things go. Because they can, one week can be that's terrible. Second week, oh, it's even worse. Third week, fourth week, fifth week. Oh, okay, yeah. Doesn't always happen, but I'm prepared to give these things time before it sucks, and then laugh at it if it still sucks.
Good questions there.
Yeah, that was a very good question. Thank you, pal. And everybody else who may or may not have watched Demolition Man. We recommend, by the way. That's our film of the week. After you watch Street Fighter for the 15th time, watch Demolition Man. Make it a double bill.
We're not getting Ross Tweddle's move of the week. Hopefully next time. I've been
Ross
enjoying that.
Tweddle's movie of the week.
So Sam, Ross once
Demolition Man. Thanks, Ross.
Ross once wrote his notes and then just randomly went, I don't know why I've put this here, but I put that reversal is Ross Tweddle's move of the week. And that's become like a thing, so can't wait for that to come back.
Yeah, can't wait for Ross to come back. Until then, please.
No offense to Sam, not saying.
None taken. None taken.
Okay,
it's all right. I'm used to it.
Sorry, man.
I'm used to it.
Sorry.
That's Sam, the seat warmer driver. Thank you very much. Please send questions, thoughts, queries, and anything else that's on your head to mailbag@cultaholic.com. As if this podcast wasn't long enough, there's a Reese's Pieces. Hello all, hope all's well. Oh, it is. Following on from Eurovision, yes, we are still going to talk about it, and with the Euros soon upon us, I have attempted to combine both ideas in order to switch up the Reese's Pieces format a little bit.
Yes!
I am proposing you guys vote in a single elimination tournament of wrestler songs.
No.
Imagine a wrestling song contest where we are eliminating entrants to crown an ultimate winner. As always, this isn't a definitive ranking of the single best wrestler song ever, just the best of this selection. It will involve a little bit of inventory management though, so I would recommend a pen and apologies in advance. Hopefully the below outline explains everything.
Oh my god,
Thanks again.
On a pay-per-view week.
I know.
Thanks again for all of you.
I should point out.
For us, it never
I've
goes
got
on
editing
TV.
to do.
I should point out that
my
before realising that he couldn't do this week's podcast, Ross did choose these questions, so I'm assuming this is a rib from him.
What's the longest, most awkward Reese's Pieces we've got? Sam can do it. Love and hugs, Black Country Smoggy Adam from the Twitch. Thank you, pal.
It's Black Country
Good to see you.
Smoggy Adam.
Yeah. And it's a round of 16, and it obviously breaks it down, A versus B, C versus D. And then quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. Oof. I'm just going to have to, I'll just do this in bits and then just delete when appropriate. All right, 2 seconds. Inventory management of the week. Okay, cool. So, we have to vote now. Elias, amen, I'm going in. I assume that's his modern one.
Is that what it's called?
Wait, what? Is this Elias's main? Oh. Okay. Versus Jeff Jarrett with My Baby Tonight.
My Baby Tonight wins.
God, My Baby Tonight, unfortunately.
Spend
wins.
my days working hard. John Cena, Basic Thugonomics, or wait. Or The Rock, Pie.
Oh no, basic thugonomics.
I mean, isn't it supposed to be wrestler themes? Did The Rock ever come out to Pie?
You remember at WrestleMania when Rock came out to Pie?
No.
I preferred his song with Wyclef Jean. It Doesn't Matter. That was a good one. It doesn't matter.
I like all the songs he made to Big Pie.
I think Thugonomics pips that one there.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll vote The Rock Pie because it doesn't matter anymore. Honky Tonk Man, cool. Cocky, bad, okay. Or R-Truth, What's Up?
Oh, what's up? What's up?
Yeah.
I like What's Up.
No, I'm going cool, cocky, bad. You kidding?
Look, R-Truth's never seemed like
come on.
he is as horrible a person as Honky is. So.
But it's
For
not the
some reason-
song. The song didn't do anything bad. Come on.
For some reason, WWE have really rammed Cool, Cocky, Bad and With My Baby Tonight down our throats a lot. They think they're like the best songs they've ever done for some reason. So I'm, in defiance of that, I'm going for What's Up.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I hate this.
What's
Jesse Ventura, The Body Rules?
I don't know.
I don't remember that. Or Roddy Piper, I'm Your Man. Oh, no.
Roddy
I
Piper.
didn't think much of that.
I liked
preferred
when,
Roddy Piper's For Everybody.
I like Shane Ritchie's cover of... was it Shane Ritchie? Who plays Alfie Moon in EastEnders?
Yeah, it's Shane Ritchie.
Yeah, I liked his cover of I'm Your Man. It was just a real song that he did. Baby, I'm your man.
Okay, well, I think that's not decided then. Sam.
Yeah.
No, it
What's
wasn't the
next
same
thoughts?
song. I don't remember.
No,
I don't.
those are both naff. These are some weird
Yeah.
picks. Mickey James, Hardcore Country. Or Michael Hayes, Bad Street USA.
Bad Street USA.
all day. How are?
Baddest street in the whole US of A. Jimmy
When
Hart.
they did that at
Every
the Hall
time
of
I
Fame,
move in this chair,
Wait,
it's
when they did that for the Hall of Fame, and it went on for like half an hour,
They forgot the lyrics.
and they're just there going like they were really tired by the end as well. And I
We
think
left the flat and they
we
were
went to
singing
get
it, and we
went to
went
get We went to get pizza or something to shoot a video or something.
Yeah, we went to, I think, did we go and get beer or we went to Access or something?
Somewhere.
We came back and they were still going.
They were still singing but on the way, a limousine passed us reeking of weed. And I honestly think that Snoop Dogg was late to the whole... I'm genuinely...
But the window came down and it was billowing out.
I'm serious right now, yeah. This limo rolled past us, reeking of weed, and then it was as if the Freebirds were filling time at the Hall of Fame. I reckon Snoop Dogg was late to that Hall of Fame because he was getting inducted afterwards. Yeah. And I think they were honestly 100% think that we saw Snoop Dogg's limo. I'm just saying. 1, 2, 3, enter the bow. Sorry.
Thank you, Chuck.
Sorry. That was so teacherly.
It was.
Mr.
Jimmy
King?
Hart, Girls in Cars. Oh, Girls in Cars. Wait, that wasn't Jimmy Hart's theme. It was
he will have
Strike
wrote
Force,
it.
wasn't it? Girls in Cars. Oh, Vince McMahon's Stand Back.
Oh, stand back. Once I was a boy. Oh man.
Girls in Cars is so good. You know what? Yeah, I'll pick Vince McMahon just because it's not Jimmy Hart's theme.
Vince does a
Strike
dance. And there's Hulk Hogan on the bass.
Yeah. Lita, When I Get You Alone.
What?
What?
I don't remember this.
Which one was that? Was that Boy Hits Car?
No, these are songs
Boy
that
Hits Car.
These are all songs that they've done, I think.
Boy Hits Car. I think that's it. It's like the originals album, isn't it? Or Trish Stratus, I Just Want You.
Lita, what was it called?
When I Get You Alone.
It's a song by her.
He's got to make sure we can't hear it.
I don't know which one to go for then. I'll go for Lita's, I suppose, because she's rock.
Just go for Lita.
Yeah. Chris Jericho, Judas, oof, or Tyler Breeze, gorgeous.
No, Judas is a good song. It's just been overplayed.
No, I'm just saying oof because there's no chance whoever's got a vote.
Well, this is
Tyler Breeze, gorgeous.
It's been absolutely rammed down our throats to the point where we're full of Judas now, and you know it is a good song, but Fozzy. But yeah, I think it is slightly better than gorgeous.
I'm going for Judas as well, unfortunately.
I'm picking Judas, sorry. Okay, so now we're down to the interesting picks, by the way. The greatest theme songs ever.
No,
anyway,
it's not themes. It's songs that they've done.
Jeff Jarrett with My Baby Tonight, or John Cena, Basic Thugonomics.
I'm going for Basic Thugonomics. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You picking that over with My Baby Tonight?
Sorry, Maffew.
Yeah.
I never got why it was.
By Jeff
I never
Jarrett.
got why. I never got why it was. Funny. It was the roadie. It was the.
It was by Road Dogg.
It was Road Dogg.
So
yeah.
Road Dogg says that.
It was revealed.
I never got why it was
that.
I never got why it was a funny bit. I didn't get it. I'm going for Basic.
You're supposed to believe in Nilly, but by that point, it's like, all right, great.
Girl, you know it's girl, you know.
Yeah, you know it's girl, you know. Oh, that video was amazing.
That's
yeah,
so
if people don't know that, by the way, Milli Vanilli were
awkward.
a very thing of their times. No one talks about them anymore, but they were these very good-looking models who not ad-libbed, sang along
lip-synced.
Thank you. Lip-synced along to recordings done by people who look nothing like that.
But it was a secret. It was kayfabe.
It was kayfabed. So very popular at the time. And then one night, and it's a good video. Please go on YouTube to see it because every telling it is amazing. The audio machine started skipping.
Oh my god!
Because it's girl, you know it's true.
Girl, you know
I think that's the full chorus. So it just skipped on girl, you know it's girl. The guy's telling the story.
They start going like. They start going.
What do you want me to do? I run off stage. I can't. What am I supposed to do? Go, girl, you know it's.
It's so bad.
Say it 38 times. And that was the end of their career once I found out because they tried to make the real Milli Vanilli, but by that point no one cared. So, like this quiz: R-Truth, What's Up, or Roddy Piper, I'm Your Man?
What's up?
Yeah. Michael Hayes, Bad Street USA, or Vince McMahon, Stand Back?
Stand Back.
Stand back.
No.
Yes, I'll go for.
Yeah.
No, wait. What was the other one?
Bad Street USA.
Go for Bad Street.
Oh!
Matthew's got the deciding vote.
Oh my god. Stand Back.
Oh!
I'm cross.
Stand back from these rotten picks. Lita, When I Get You Alone, or Chris Jericho, Judas?
Judas.
Yeah. John Cena, Basic Thugonomics, or R-Truth, What's Up? Oh, it's a rap battle for the ages.
What's up for the?
What's up? Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
People over there. What's up?
If it was Cena's other theme, I'd pick that, but...
Or Bad Man.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
It
F
was
with
never
John
Keisha's
Cena.
theme.
What?
It was a Keisha's theme, wasn't it?
No, I mean the John Cena single with Bumpy Knuckles and someone else. Don't
I
F with
remember
John
how that one
Cena. I'm a
sounds.
bad man. And the video's like they're all dressed as the A-Team. I think he's like Hannibal.
Oh,
face.
that one. I remember the A-Team video, but I remember
Yeah.
that song. Oh. Vince McMahon, Stand Back, or Jericho Judas?
Stand back.
Oh, no.
It's more iconic.
Yeah, stand back just for the novelty of it. Yeah.
Just
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Vince
not it,
dancing.
Dude,
So
it's-
the grand finale, the main event of all main events, R-Truth, What's Up, or Vince McMahon, Stand Back?
I'll go for stand back, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's hard to. There's a whole dance
You mean
routine
Stand
and
Back
everything.
over What's Up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since I was a boy, my mama told me, stand back. It sounds like Ace of Spades, but in like a lounge version.
Sounds like Ace of
No, it didn't do. Stand back. That's it. That's the build up to the Ace of Spades in the chorus. The only card you need is to stand back.
And don't forget the Joker.
Maybe what I'm saying is those two songs could be mashed up very easily.
Oh, no.
Oh, let's get it done.
Get DJ Cumberbund to do that.
Yeah.
So that means the grand
Oh my
winner.
god. He's editing this podcast. Richard Tubman, right? Once tried to. Well, I don't know if he tried. I don't know if I was actually invited, but I was like, "What are you up to tonight, Richard?" He was like, "I'm going to see a DJ across the road." And, you know, you might not know. You're Cobalt, Maffew, the cool club. And I was like, "What's the name of the DJ you're going to see, Richard?" Cool. And he said, "I'm going to see DJ Bus Replacement Service," and that's the name of the DJ. It's a masked woman. She's she doesn't reveal her identity, but she's called DJ Bus Replacement Service.
Wow.
That's how hipster Richard is.
Yeah, that sounds like a band that he would
Richard,
listen to.
just in my ear, did you actually see, or did you cancel? I feel like she might have cancelled. He didn't go in the end. Oh, you needed someone to go, and I didn't go with him to see DJ Bus Replacement Service.
Richard revealing he doesn't go to places by himself either, meaning Maffew is the coolest man here because he goes to restaurants by himself. Is this platter to share? No, thank you. Leave it and go away, please. So the winner of the Jewels Remain is Vince McMahon. Stand Back. He's kissed the trophy as we speak. And,
yes.
Yeah. What a great thing. All these people losing their jobs this week, but Vince McMahon is a winner on this podcast. He needs a W, and we're happy to help him out. That got you, Smoggy. That worked out surprisingly well. And it took me a while. It took the second round for me to realise it was all songs that were sung by the people. So I'm obviously very clever.
I would have gone for Truth, but I like giving youth a chance, so I went for Vince instead.
Nice, Jack. Nice. You don't usually do that type of cynicism. That's nice.
Because Truth's all...
Yeah, Jack, don't ruin it. So thank you very much for sending us those Reese's Pieces. Good one there, Black Country. And I hope if you have a Reese's Pieces that you think you can do better, if you don't want to do that one, that could work as well. As long as you have the pen and paper there to write all that down. You can by sending them to mailbag@cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
Big question.
What a long, lovely, not drawn out podcast this has been this week.
It's been a good one though. Don't. It's not all doomus and gloomus.
It's fine. It's just some people do like the long ones, and some people go, "No, shut up." And some people go, "No, can you make them more bite-sized, like what Monster Munch used to look like?" Now they're what Monster Munch are now. They're massive.
Monster Munch are ridiculous now. Also, is Monster Munch a claw or is it a monster? Because if you turn it upside down, it's a monster.
It's a
No,
claw,
I always thought it was
surely.
like the claw.
The paw of the
like the
monster.
handprint.
Yeah, but turn it upside down and it looks like a monster.
I'm not having this.
Oh no, I thought
looks
the
like a
same.
I am
cyber
not
if you
having
turn it
this.
No, I thought the same, and then I was like, hang on, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh my
It's like
word.
all those. It's like all those people that think Colonel Sanders' tie is a little body. Like
No, that's his tie. That's 100% his tie.
Yeah.
I'm not.
just no.
Thinks it's his little
Monstrous.
body. Wait. I'm not
Yeah, they think Colonel Sanders ties his body.
Sanders. Oh god, I've never seen it like.
It's like a stick man
I've
with a
never
super
seen it
detailed
like that
head.
before.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna send Richard a picture of this Monster Munch diagram and get him to pop it on the screen, if that's all right, Richard. So I just send
Looks
you
like
this.
Saddam in South Park. If it's like that, you just tiny little stick body and just a giant head.
Where is it?
Wasn't ready for that. Sorry, the huge laugh.
Right, I've sent Richard the old the picture of the Monster Munch monster diagram there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pivotal for the.
Oh, it is. I just want to prove that.
Oh, sorry, that sounded really miserable. I'm sorry. We are, of course, at the end of the podcast where we talk one last time about one little thing, and that thing is the big question of the week, which is, what's next for the current crop of WWE releases? I should probably think of a much, much more positive way of saying that, because there have been people on Twitter this week who've been going, no, as soon as people get released, can you stop mindlessly speculating? And we're just doing this because people are wondering what's next. It's not as if you go out to WWE and it's like Judge Dredd, it's just a wasteland outside of Mega City 1. There's lots of chances, lots of different companies, places and companies more open now. COVID restrictions coming down in certain places.
I'm now imagining.
Yet, so there is. Now we wonder what is next for these people.
I'm now imagining the Elite dressed as the Wasteland gang from Judge Dredd. What are they called?
The Angel Gang.
One's Mean Machine with the clock in it. Yeah. I'm now imagining them as that. Which they're
it's Kenny Omega, but all of his settings are just over the top.
They're going to do that now. That's exactly the sort of thing they would do.
They won't. It's not cool enough. It's too niche.
Judge Dredd is.
It's too niche. They'd have to go, reference. Yeah. They'd have to go for Street Fighter or something.
Yeah, but really Kenny dressed as... Is this just showing off my lack of knowledge? But I thought Kenny was an obscure Street Fighter character. Ryu and Ken was Matt and Nick, but then Kenny was like a newer one.
Oh, he played Street Fighter 5 though.
Who was he? Was
he not Akuma?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You mean when they dressed up? I thought when they played it.
No, at Fighter Fest. Yeah.
No, it was Akuma. No.
Is Akuma famous?
Oh, yeah.
Damn it. I'm thinking like Street Fighter 2. Like
he was there in Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but
he wasn't Cody
their first secret character. So
he wasn't in the. He wasn't in the.
He was not in the movie. No.
He wasn't in the movie, which is why if he'd come out dressed as Kylie Minogue, then I would have been on. I would have been yes. There we go. Anyway, the releases.
Imagine if those serious wrestling fans click on this and they go, "What?
Yeah.
What? All I want to hear is about when Aleister Black's going to join AEW and all this stuff to put up the preamble." Stand back being better than what's up.
Stand back.
So, where are they going to go? Braun, you were saying earlier, Braun's saying that
I heard that, I don't know where it was, so I'm going to Google it, but I heard that Braun might be done with, I think he said he didn't really want to wrestle anywhere apart from...
Yeah, Braun released a statement, and it was, or he spoke to somebody, but it was essentially that, he only ever really saw himself wrestling in WWE. So he said after he leaves WWE, that's it, the boots are hung up. Oh. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see Braun pop up again. You know, if that is true and he doesn't do anything else in the wider world of wrestling for a little bit, wouldn't surprise me if he just went off and was happy for a bit and came back in a couple of years at a Rumble. That'd be a huge return. Like to have Braun come back at like a Rumble or,
he could do films, surely.
Oh yeah,
just the look of
at
him.
The size of him. Yeah. For sure. If Nathan Jones can get into acting off the back of that run, Braun can.
And he did appear in the Will Ferrell Sherlock Holmes film that people watched and God, this is so bad. Netflix will have to take this. And Netflix saw it and goes, no, even we have standards. Remember that? And Braun Strowman appeared as Braun Strowman in the exact same wrestling gear. He is walking off the set of WWE Raw. I just went in, all right, I'm ready.
I think Sam's met John C. Reilly. I can picture a picture of you and John C. Reilly.
We met John C. Reilly in Cannes, in 2015. He was just walking
down
the
the
street.
Cannes Festival.
It was lovely. Yeah. He was just a really nice
Maffew,
guy. He was in A Tale of Tales. Good film.
That's pretty cool.
Was he a nice guy?
John C. Reilly?
Was it just a brief,
It was just kind of like a brief, hello, hey, I saw you in this film, absolutely loved that film. Yeah, can we get a picture? Yeah, sorry, we're absolutely ruining your night. We all bolted down the street from, the restaurant must have thought we tried to dine and dash. But it was like, John C. Reilly! And then we, went running down after him.
I remember in the picture being surprised that he was so tall. Because Will Ferrell must be like a giant then, because John C. Reilly looks short next to him.
Yeah, I think Will Ferrell is super, super tall.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, that was just because of the Sherlock thing you mentioned there.
Yeah.
The releases.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, God. John C. Reilly height. Oh, wow, 1.87 meters. Wow. Tall man. He is certainly taller.
So, I think, Braun being the type of person to just keep his name around, and then when he gets a bit more successful elsewhere, do we be like, hey, Braun, we suddenly realise you look new and cool again. As a black guy, I think he can go anywhere he wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
I
anything
think
he wants.
it's
World's
a given.
oyster.
I know it's always the thing to say, like, I'd love to see them in the G1, but I would love to see Alistair Black in the G1.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I know. His wrestling style as well, like Maffew mentioned, his apparently seductive raising of the chin with his foot.
Yeah.
That would work so well in the closing sequence of a New Japan match. Like one black match and then
Yeah.
another, but then whoever ducks it and then maintains shin control, and I think it's made for that. But I mean, I don't know, anywhere he goes, I think Matthew's right, he could go anywhere. Anywhere he goes.
You always take the push with you. Lana, again, seems the obvious thing to say if her and Miro I said Rusev, they are together in real life for real reals. I'm sure Miro's like,
Yeah.
Tony,
I think that's where most people...
I don't ask for much, but you asked me to get rid of you and Kip Sabian. Yeah, but that was going to happen anyway. Can I have... All right, let's have a look in the jar of millions I've got here next to my bed.
But they're divorced in kayfabe. She married Bobby Lashley. Come on.
Could you imagine if they carried that over?
Yeah,
Isn't it amazing that
was the
weird
thing.
little we're gonna cook you because that's what's popular or whatever. Don't know what that was about, to be honest with you.
Oh, God,
Between Rusev and Lashley and Rusev going, he goes, I don't care about this. Okay, cool. Have a nice wedding. Whatever. Rusev leaving the company. Lana and Lashley being together. That then set up MVP coming in and going, Lashley, you need to get rid of her.
Yeah.
She's bad news. Oh, don't say that, MVP. Then lost again. Anyway. Oh, MVP was right. You suck. Got rid of him. That's MVP. And that's that
It
is
led
what
to the
spawned
hair
that.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Lashley,
crazy.
one of the best things about WWE right now. Came
Yeah.
from that stupid angle.
That is weird. Maybe they had a plan all along. They didn't. I think Lana, I said this on mine and Ross's news video as well, that I enjoy Miro as a promo. I think he's funny and he's good, but sometimes he loses his way slightly. Just when he's ranting and raving, which sometimes works, but I think when Lana was doing his promos for him and he could still chime in, that was really effective. So I wouldn't be I know it's very unoriginal to say, I want them to go to AEW, but I do think I want Lana to go to AEW and manage Rusev or Miro.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty awesome to see them back together as a team again.
Yeah.
Murphy, another dude, I think, because
Eddie
the style of
Company.
wrestling nowadays, like Alistair Black, can go anywhere.
Oh, you mean the 2023 Best of the Super Juniors, buddy? Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Buddy Murphy. Let me get
Yeah,
that
that's
happen.
Buddy
Imagine.
I know.
Oh,
Kenny Alpha.
Kenny Alpha.
Ruby Riott, I like to say the same.
again, yeah, any company, I feel.
She was a bit of like a bit of a bastion of the, because I remember hearing her name mentioned so much before she went to WWE, like Heidi Lovelace.
Yeah.
So I can see her doing that again, or this is just pure speculation, but does she seem like the sort of person that Impact would want in their women's division?
I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the Impact
but
Women's
I
Division is
think-
great at the minute.
It's
yeah.
strong, yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
So would she be a good complement to that?
Yeah.
I think probably.
Yeah, I think she could complement any women's division.
Yeah.
Really, at the minute, like.
True.
But you know, I don't know if something like Ring of Honor quite has the prestige as it once would. So maybe I'd say like in my head anyway, I can see like Impact or AEW or you know, just general wider independent, you know, sailing, just going through the whole motion again.
Yeah, fair enough. I think for Santana Garrett as well, actually, I always feel a bit like old school when I look at her. Like, could she be NWA Power? Maybe, or
Yeah,
something like
maybe.
that? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh wait, the headband power thing. All you got to
That's
do is
what
add an extra couple of R's.
Ah, yes, absolutely. And then Tom Campbell, who was the NWA fan of The Office, would then probably get her on a podcast or something. So that would be good
Yeah.
as well. Ah, I'm sure that the whole crop of them are talented enough that like
Oh god, yeah, yeah.
they can do whatever they want. Hopefully, anyway. Maffew, what do you think?
I think you said it better than me. Mate,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
these are nice. And we wish them all the best, whatever they do. There's God knows how many podcasts and Twitch streams and everything else that we'll get to enjoy as fans. So obviously the real winner, as always, is us. That was trying to summarise everything, but it's just so hard.
worked. No, it was good.
No,
No.
what if you invested in the storylines in WWE, Maffew? That's awful. That's just... But I've learned something today, says Maffew at the end of the podcast. Trying to sum everything up.
Poochie, do you have something to say? Yes, I do. I must go now. Don't they not even animate his mouth? Does his mouth just get stuck
Yeah.
in? I must go.
Good times. But you know what? We've been here long enough. We're taking a bit off of your time. Sam, what have you got on tap for us this week for the lucky Cultaholic fans who can't wait until next week?
I'll be on news tomorrow. And I will. Sorry, my brain just went completely default there. There'll be news tomorrow. There will be, regular weekend content. There'll be all sorts of stuff coming. Lists, the regular output. So just keep your eyes on the Cultaholic channel.
What about
me?
Plug your Twitch.
What am I?
Plug your Twitch.
Oh, well, Thursdays. Yeah, they're 6 p.m. Thursdays. We do Twitch stuff. Sometimes we drive a truck. Sometimes I get so angry at games that I just rage quit. But it's fun. It's fun.
Good stuff.
Jack.
Yeah, I was waiting for Maffew to pass it over. Sorry. So I do Twitch with Owen on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We are currently doing all right with Cultaholic FC in the league above. We're continuing the momentum, and that's every Wednesday at 6. When it comes to my Greatest Of series on Fridays, I should point out that yesterday, myself, Sam, Ross, and Adam had a meeting where we talked about various stuff on the channel, like we often do. And I was like, can I make this like a less not a weekly series? So it might not be every week, because it was just felt like I was forcing it a bit. Like sometimes if there was a week where nothing obvious had happened, I'd be like, here's why so and so is one of the greatest, but it wasn't really thematic. It didn't. I was kind of forcing it a bit. So instead, I'll be doing that some weeks when it's appropriate. Other weeks I'll be focusing on scripting other videos and lists and stuff, either for myself or for voiceovers of other presenters. So kind of my bread and butter a little bit. So we'll see. Maffew, what have you got?
I will do the streams on Saturday at 6 p.m. Ooh, yes I will. And I'll put up twitch.tv. It's like I'm tired now. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic. I gave up on Final Fantasy 9 because it just wasn't doing good numbers wise. I don't think it's a very good fit for Twitch. It's a great game, obviously, but someone said last week I did Sonic 1, and it did way better numbers. So I think this week I'll do, I don't know, Sonic 2. You're original.
Fair enough. Sounds good.
Yeah, exciting life. And then on Sundays we do my own stuff, reading more Young Bucks books on my own thing, but that's not Cultaholic related. This is Cultaholic related. Cultaholic, that gives you the Hall of Fame pick. You can go to patreon.com/Cultaholic, or the Reese's Pieces or mailbag, or whatever your thoughts are on anything, at mailbag@cultaholic.com. Please let us know your thoughts or whatever's on your mind. But right now, the only thing we have on our mind is saying goodbye to you fine people listening to this on the audio podcast we have, or on the Cultaholic YouTube. So we end by putting our fist towards the webcam. We don't know why. And on the count of 3, we say the famous expression, 1, 2, 3... Stand
Join
back.
us.
Stand back. Stand back.